Live, and we are live.
Also, there's a lot more balloons in this game.
Yes.
That's what we started on. Wait, I can't. I just realized I can't open the chat anymore. What's the dodo code, Konaru?
My dodo code is 3DX4R.
X4R. Okay, it's right there.
Someone gave me a bidet, and I think it was Pagina, one of my island residents, because I've been building rooms, just giving like room warming presents, and I think she gave me a bidet.
Someone gave me a bidet.
Fun fact. I think it was your island, Molly. I was on someone's island yesterday, and they had a urinal, so I bought it, and I put it.
Oh yeah, you bought it, yeah.
And I put it outside, so it's just like it's by one of my like orchards, and I'm like, you pee in public now.
That's like okay. I have my dad has had the same nightmare apparently. He told me, but I would kind of often, like more often than any other dream I had recurringly, would have a dream where I was in this room and it was just a giant room and there were a ton of people like doing whatever and there was just a toilet like somewhere in the room and it like blocked off at all, and I would really have to pee in my dream, but I remember like not wanting to go because it was so public. This was like a recurring dream that I had.
Okay. Molly,
like I probably had this
childhood dramas.
Yeah, I probably had this dream like 5 or 6 times. But my dad said that he used to have this same dream, and I'm like, what is this like a genetic like pee phobia? Like,
okay, on that lovely note, oh shit, I'm moving the background. We have to. I realized a long time ago when we started talking, we have to actually start the show.
Well, this is what we've been doing. So.
Yeah, for the record, for those who, oh shit, sorry, the background keeps moving. I moved it once and I tried to center it. There should be an option on XSplit to center things to the screen you already have. I'm gonna like tweet it XSplit later on today. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Episode 91 of Ultra Podcast Z. Now, I mentioned this a couple times in the past, and I mentioned it to Molly and Konaru earlier. I think Molly just earlier today, but Konaru I've told her for weeks. Episode 91 has the bonus of technically being our 100th episode, because we do stupid numbering. So if you add up all the half episodes, this is 100.
Woo.
Yeah, I kind of regret ever doing in the halves. I'm like, they should just be more episodes. Like, why are they a half? And there have been times where we wanted to do 2 episodes in between each episode, but we've already done a half. So I'm like, what do we do? A 0.75? You know, when we do the second one? But... So yeah, anyway, so episode 91, if you watch the opening part, I literally had to interrupt us all. We were all doing it, not just them. I was joining in too. We had to all stop to go live, and the second we went live, rather than introduce ourselves, we just continued for like 5 minutes. I have no idea if anyone's watching. Probably not right now. Probably not at all, because I didn't publicize this that well, but I think it'll do well on YouTube. Maybe because everyone's stuck inside, which leads us to the topic, but I forgot to introduce ourselves first. I'm Manuel, as always, leader of ADJ Connections. As always, joined by Konaru, who
as always
still doesn't have a camera.
My name is Konaru, also known as Yaru. I'm currently playing Animal Crossing, and if you want to join my island, my code is right there on my screen.
3DX4R, so it's like the new version of the 3DS. Did you know? Because they keep saying Nintendo is not abandoning the DS line, the 3DS line. So I just came up with their new name right there. It could be the 3DX. And then when they eventually release the 4th version, they can call it 4R, and there you go. That's the new Nintendo handheld console. Quote me on that. But joining us again tonight is Molly. Molly. That was the creepiest smile.
Hi everyone, I'm Molly, also known as Marisuga or Milky. I'm also playing Animal Crossing currently. I'm going to go to Konaru's island in a second if you'd like to join us. But I'm currently building my house because I just got a bunch of money. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how we got that money later, because that was actually
no, we're not.
Oh, we're not?
Nintendo can't.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a very good point. Like let's not have Nintendo's going to patch that out.
I'm kind of worried that it's going to be like one of those games where they're like, anyone that used this cheat is game is going to be like
It's
destroyed.
funny. It's funny because I was talking to Racheal about it. Even though I technically tried with you, I haven't cheated at all. Even time traveling.
Yeah, I haven't time traveled or anything. I've just been smooth sailing, and honestly,
I've time traveled, but I always go back.
I mean, that's still time traveling, Molly. I like how
That's exactly what it is.
I like how at first it started with like, it's not me, it's Cam. It's not me, it's Cam. And then you're like, I'm all the way in April.
Gabe, no.
I was trying to help you.
You actually were. She was trying to give me some good turnip price. Well, I was helping you too because I was going to pay you off with like some of the extra money. But anyway, that's a whole other story. And joining us tonight is Racheal as well.
Hi,
Yes.
my name is Racheal. You can find me on Instagram at Glitched Alchemy. I usually do fashion stuff, but I'm a nerd of many hobbies, so...
A nerd of many hobbies.
A nerd of many hobbies. That's
I can't stick to one.
That's a true statement I've ever
Oh
heard.
my god.
Wait, can I make a comment on that? So I was watching. Has anyone seen The Circle? The show The Circle.
No.
It's on Netflix.
No.
It's a reality show on Netflix. Anyway, so there's a Brazilian version as well. And since we watched the American version, we decided to watch the Brazilian version, and which has been dubbed into German, Italian, and Spanish, but not into English. So we had to watch it in Portuguese. I mean, that's fine. Like, subtitles are fine. Sometimes I want to watch it. Like, I don't want to have to read the subtitles sometimes. Anyway, the point is that one of the people on it is like a professional gamer from Brazil. And my roommate, I don't know, one of the characters, or he said that he had a girlfriend, and one of the other people was like, oh, like, that doesn't work out, like, nerds don't have girlfriends. And I was like, excuse me, like, not all, like, nerds can, like, date, and, like, look at me. And my roommate looks at me, and she's like, well, you're a different kind of nerd. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't understand. What does it
A
mean?
different kind of nerd.
You are a different kind of nerd, though, and I don't know how to describe it either. But to back up what you said, though, I do agree that that's not a factual statement. But you are like, both are true, both your statement and your roommates. I'm just saying.
No, I know what they mean. I'm like a normal nerd. I don't know, because I also like a lot of things are not nerdy. I'm not like some people are like all the way into like nerddom.
Hi.
And they like really like that's most of their hobbies.
Hi.
I have a lot of hobbies that are also not nerdy. Not a lot, but I do enjoy like things that normal people like.
Normal people.
Normal people.
What
We're
is
not normal.
Really?
No, it's funny because I was going to say that because Racheal already offered herself up, and I was going to say that too. I'm like, so basically, you're saying that Rachel's a nerd and you're not as nerdy as her. Got it.
No, it was basically kind of a thing where I don't remember. I don't even know what the connection was, but it was something to do with like how there are different like types of nerds. I don't even remember what exactly you said like with that.
But
It's okay, Molly. I still love you.
I think it depends. I think in some ways I'm nerdier than Racheal, but in other ways Rachel's nerdier than me.
no,
We're all nerdy in kind of different ways.
Rachel's the nerdiest out of all of us.
What do you mean?
Really?
No, I think I'm probably the nerdiest. No, actually, I don't think I'm that nerdy. Konaru's the nerdiest, and that's not even a joke. I think Konaru's the nerdiest because she's like,
Yeah, I was gonna say that, not in a bad way at all.
What do you
But
mean,
I feel like
Yeah, no, I agree.
no, because yeah, she's
No, because what do you mean by like nerd? Do you mean like the old school definition of
No,
nerd?
but,
Or...
I
like,
think that's what I'm saying. Like the stereotype. None of us are like the stereotype, but like Manuel, you know, like he looks a lot of like rock music and like metal music,
Yeah.
which is not stereotypically nerd.
but Konaru's more like
And-
the straight up.
I am.
Konaru's more like more otaku-y than I think the rest of
Yeah.
us, and not in a bad way. Not like
Oh my
in the
God,
way
oh
that
my
they
God.
look. Because like you know how like, the word otaku. Fun fact for anyone that knows: being called an otaku in Japan is not a good thing. People are trying to kind of reclaim the word. It's not like a slur or anything, but it like has a negative connotation. It's not as socially accepted there as it is here. people are surprised by that. Or maybe it's changed. I don't know. But
No,
when
it's
I
still-
was there, it was.
No,
It's still the same.
It's still the same. There was a move for the. I don't know if anyone really remembers. There was a show and a movie and a book called Densha Otoko a long time
Yeah.
ago. And
Yeah.
that was kind of like, let's make otaku, what's the word? Like, like more friendly to the public eye or whatever the hell. And there was actually a whole thing about that, like media wise. But once again, I think that was just like a trend, like for lack of a better term. But unlike the nerd is cool trend that we have here, it went away. It was kind of just like, yeah, otaku are cool from 2006 to 2007, but then after
I'm
that,
kind of
it's
surprised
like,
you brought it up. So I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
but then after that,
Well,
it's like,
also,
no,
like,
they're
like-
trashy. No offense.
Like, is Denpagumi, are they actually, like, popular in Japan? I know they're pretty popular
Yes.
overseas.
Yeah, they're popular in Japan.
They're very popular.
Because isn't their theme, like, each one of them is a different type of otaku?
Yeah,
They were actually.
Yeah.
Like, like, that's not just their
It's
theme. I don't know
not
why
just
I went
their-
like this.
Yeah.
But, like, each one of them was. But I think also a lot of the things, like, some of the things that they are otaku of are, like, cool things. Like,
And-
I'm a fashion otaku.
Yeah.
Like,
And to be fair, I don't think that extends to their new members, like the one that's from Biboga and the one from Nijikon. I don't think that they're like similarly. Oh, I was an otaku before this. They were idols before that. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think of that with their new members. I
Yeah.
didn't think of that at all.
So all their concepts have been like dying technically with the new members, even the deer stage aspect. So yeah. By the way, I never actually said what we're doing tonight. This is a lovely
one of
podcast.
the Deer Stage members was, or one of the Denpagumi Inc. members was in Ika.
Yay, now it's done.
Oh, she made a thing while we were.
Actually, basically, most of the Aikatsu singers were Deer Stage, but, like,
Is that an Ida
I do, okay,
fanny pack?
I
It
think,
is
I think
made
it's
by a
for, like,
friend of mine.
Rachel.
named Rosaria.
When Rachel gets into something, she just gets very, very into it and buys all the merch.
She's a Fujoshi
Because she
though.
has so many Ida bags, and all of her Ida bags are like
shut up.
jacked up.
She's a Fujoshi.
Shut up!
No, because she goes out.
Oh damn!
Oh my god, I'm thinking.
all the
I'm
Fujoshi
thinking-
hashtag not all Fujoshi.
No, I'm thinking of Hikikomori. Sorry.
Yeah. Sylvia's a Hikikomori. Konaru's
How? She's literally an idol.
but she like never she you've heard her describe her that as well, Konaru, right? She's like a fucking
What?
Sylvia as a Hikikomori,
Yeah.
because she like never goes out and she's like internet neat,
Mm.
like
I know.
half
Me
her-
and my anime friends at one point, we all decided that we were all different like tropes in anime.
no,
I was fan service.
oh god, what the hell?
That's a really.
That's a weird
Because
one.
all the characters I was cosplaying were like Panty from Panty and
Oh
Stocking.
my god, no.
They were just, I don't know. They were like sexy characters, I guess. But then Callie was the main character because all the weird stuff always happens to her.
It's funny because I was gonna mention some stuff. I don't know if I should mention it, but it isn't too bad. But real fast before we get more off track, because I actually want to finish that thought about all of our nerd qualities. But for those who don't know what we're doing, I'm not gonna say exactly why. Everyone knows why. It's no longer beating around the bush. We're all in a similar boat right now in terms of like where we're at and what we should be doing. Not that everyone's doing it, unfortunately. So,
Is every state on lockdown now?
well, I don't.
No, not really.
Yeah, to various degrees, somewhat.
What about West Virginia? Because doesn't West Virginia say they have no gate?
No, they got some finally.
They got some
They got some
finally.
finally.
That's not terrible, but you know what but like, I say finally because like the hubris of people who think that that it wouldn't get to them is like kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
Mhm.
But I know states like Mississippi, of all people, like I don't want to be that person. I'm just be straight up and say it. Like pretty much all the South is like ignoring the whole thing, and West Virginia,
I hate
which is
it.
still kind of the South. But yeah, all the South. Okay, the Texas Lieutenant General legit was like, our grandparents are willing to die for the economy. like legit said that earlier today. So
I saw that. Yeah.
So
I'm
That
embarrassed.
wasn't today. I think that was a couple days ago. But
it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
I
Okay, it
did
doesn't
see
matter
that.
when it was, but like it was said, and it's ridiculous. I'm like,
This is why I left.
I'm like,
Yeah,
text me.
I would like to say that my parents are grandparents, not for me, but my sister or my sisters, and no, they're not
Yeah,
willing to die
exactly.
for the economy.
They're willing to die, so like Trump and Jeff Bezos and
I mean,
like
I
everyone
think
else.
what he meant. I think what he meant was more like older grandparents. Like my parents are in their 60s, so they're not.
I mean, I'm
To
willing.
me, that's not grandparent age because my grandparents were already almost 80 when I was born.
I'm willing to bet
But-
he's a grandparent, so let's see if he would go first. But anyway, let's not talk about like too negative here, because the whole point of this podcast is that we're all stuck here and we're gonna basically just shoot the shit for a while. So I guess I'll make this a topic because it kind of became one, because I do want to finish this. Our nerdy tendencies. Because I feel like we all have. I can name us all. Like Nestor's like the video game nerd. Tendent. Can't spell.
Tendies.
Tendies. Chicken tendies. I want some chicken tendies.
Oh, I was
nerdy
gonna cook
chicken
that
tendies.
tonight.
I want some chicken tendies. I ordered from Little Caesars today, and like every so often I order food, I feel like I'm gonna like it's gonna be the death of me. Like literally, I don't mean that in a choking
Order
way. I mean-
100 chicken nuggies, you'll be like the only customer at McDonald's
Yeah.
that day.
but like on the same token, I like we all still, well, I don't know, we all, I still have to go to the store here and there, and like I help my mom go out
Mhm.
here and there too. So it's like I'm exposing myself to some. I'm trying not to, as little as I can, as everyone should. So I'm like ordering once or twice, and like, but the dude today was like, I tried to signal for him because I actually left the chair outside. I'm like, leave it on the chair, and he rung the doorbell anyway. He rung the doorbell anyway, and like like. He didn't hand it. He didn't like hand. Like we didn't touch hands, obviously, but he wanted to hand it to me, and I was just like, just leave it on the chair, ring the doorbell. I actually had a sign on the chair. He probably didn't see it, to be fair, because the chair is in eye view. But I'm like, leave it on the chair, ring the doorbell, and leave.
Leave it on the chair. I'm sorry, that's really funny.
But it's like, I mean,
I put a chair out for him to leave my food on. Leave it on the chair.
leave it on the chair. I'm watching through the window.
Like the blinds just.
But no, anyway, I forgot where I was going with that story. I'll just move on. But our nerdy
Likely, like you're trying not to. I'm assuming that was your
Oh yeah, I'm trying.
end game there.
And it's funny because I've been working on a sneeze for like the past hour, and it keeps coming and going. And I swear I'm going to sneeze on this podcast and just like yeet us the fuck
Ruin
out
it.
of here. Yeah. But not as bad as Kelly when she was coughing last week.
And
though.
do what the fuck out of here?
Yeet us the fuck out of here.
I thought you said Eunice the fuck out of here, and I was like, what does
What
this
does
have
that
anything
even
to do
mean?
with her? I don't know.
Why would I bring her? I haven't brought up her forever. But no.
I don't know.
So
Just what I thought I heard you say.
So our nerdy tendencies. Tipu's obviously the tech stereotype. Rachel's a Fujoshi. I don't care what you say. Rachel's a Fujoshi. Molly apparently is fan service.
That's not a type of nerd.
What?
You just
Okay, what would you say? What am I? I'm what kind of nerd?
actually that's a good question. Let me think. You're I don't know if there's a way to say like a singing nerd, but like even like not just you wanting to sing, but a lot of your stuff still involves singing activities,
Yeah.
like idol interests and like idol anime and so on.
Mhm.
So you're a music nerd.
I
guess
started
you're a
watching
music
this-
nerd.
I started watching this show yesterday, called Shining Star. It's basically Aikatsu,
Oh
but it's
my
Korean.
god, I love that show, but also hate it.
I also
I
hate
wish
it.
that they had original songs.
I'm trying to look this up. Shining Star.
It's really the only thing.
How far are you into it?
Literally episode 3.
Okay, no,
But-
you're gonna like the song that they play later.
I googled
Well,
Shining
but
Star to
the
get the
song's
Earth, Wind,
Literally
Fire
a cult
song.
classic.
Oh, we're all talking at once. Go on. Shining Star Korea.
All of them are they're all like actually songs from other from actual K-pop groups though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
All of
they're
them.
all from SM Town.
yeah. It also feels very
Oh my god,
it
is this a
feels
ripoff?
very, very, very similar to like to like Aikatsu and like the idol animes in
that's the
Japan.
vibe I got from it.
And so I'm not sure. I haven't seen any other Korean like children's shows, so I'm not sure if it's just like the vibe that both countries kind of have with their children's shows. But I know like kids shows, America. Like, have you seen like Lolly Rock and stuff like that?
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that.
Very different.
So I'm on the Shining Star wiki, and when you go to the Shining Star wiki, your mouse pointer becomes like, I can only assume is like an in-show wand. It's like a star.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
But it's just so funny. I haven't seen a website do this kind of bullshit since like the 2000s or something. Like,
most of the fandoms have them.
A lot of the wikis have them.
I guess I just don't travel to a lot of these specific fandom wikis. But yeah, this whole plot and like everything about it seems like such a ripoff, by the way.
It is.
It's very similar to Aikatsu and Prepara. I mean, but Aikatsu and Prepara are also very similar to each other. So, like, there's the main girl, and then there's the second girl, and the second girl, like, or it's either the second girl or the third girl doesn't actually want to be friends with them, but then ends up being friends with them. It happens in every single It happens in Aikatsu, it happens in Prepara.
It didn't technically happen in Piripada. It's just like Sophie was.
What are you saying?
I'm assuming this one's a reverse trap.
No, there are actually boys in the show. I mean, that might be a girl. I don't know, but there are actually,
isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that Jin? I don't know.
I've never seen this in my life.
No, there are boys in the show as well. But like they have these challenges, but apparently only the girl students have to do them because the boy students never compete in them.
Well, the boy students are technically out to be like, most of them are managers or like learning how to like the music industry works. And then there's like a couple there that are like actual dancers.
I am glad that that Friday does the song Mama though. I love that song. It's so cool.
Also, can we talk about... Wait, have you gotten as far as their subunit names? No, you haven't.
No. Actually, the show also has a very strong produced feel. Like, they're all in different levels for each of the classes. F through... And I was like, I wonder where they got this idea.
Is this a CG series?
I know, it looks like, yeah.
It's not
super
very
CG.
good CG. It's not the best CG I've ever seen.
It's like
a movie.
Kid Revolution
too,
season
that
3
came out like a couple
And
months
these
ago.
boys.
I mean, it's not horrible CG. It's not like Kid Revolution CG, but it's
Let's
not.
talk about that.
I like the guy with the black mask.
Yeah, he's reminiscent of a few things that I know, but
Of all your
the other
Fujoshi
ones
crap.
are... Why are you suddenly on this?
Oh, fuck.
When the hell did I become a
Just
Fujoshi?
ate one of my turnips. I didn't mean to do that.
You ate your turnip? Stop! What are you doing?
I just ate 10 turnips.
How do you... Oh, wait. Oh, let's stop. Okay.
That's what happens when you don't pay attention to your turnips.
I ate...
I'm ashamed. I ate 10 of them.
Can you imagine in real life if people like, I just accidentally ate 10 turnips? It's like,
Oh my god, I died.
I was supposed to sell those.
It's funny because, like,
That's great.
oh wait, let's finish Nerdy Tendencies. We'll go to Animal Crossing in a second. Nerdy Tendencies. Who else is there? I think I named Janet. Janet's like, I don't think she's that. Janet's just an all
can I say one more thing about nerdy things though?
Oh.
Was anybody else like way more nerdy when they were younger?
Yes, I totally was. I was into Doctor Who, like, religiously.
Because I remember when I first started watching Fruits Basket, like, I was, like, obsessive. And I think it might have just been, like, you know, like, pubescent, like, that's kind of, like, your mind just, like, latches onto things, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But I, like, literally could think and talk about nothing else. It was, like, intense.
When I was younger, when I was a lot younger, I used to be I still kind of am to a minor degree, but not really. I used to be the biggest like sci-fi fantasy nerd. Like I was totally into Star Wars. I still kind of can do this, but most of it's not canon anymore. I used to be able to tell you like the ins and outs, the histories, the names of the minor third character you saw in the background of like, you know, Empire Strikes Back or whatever, and shit like that. And I used to know Lord of the Rings like the back of my hand and so on, and tons of other things. But yeah,
There was a time when I was like either a freshman or a sophomore in high school, so like old enough to not probably have done this. I joined every single Twilight fan group on Facebook.
Oh my god.
All of them.
Oh my god.
Yep.
At least you're willing to admit it.
Yep. Twilight. Okay, I will say right now.
Not that you
a
seem
good
happy
series.
about it.
It wasn't a good series, but like it was freaking addicting. Like you couldn't stop reading it.
Go to the island. I'm trying, but Nestor's in the chat. He's like, somebody give me peaches and pears.
I have coconuts.
I have everything, but
I
you
have
can't go to
I
my
literally
island.
have nothing.
I have
I literally
everything.
just have apples, orange.
I have
I'll bring
everything
you one
also,
of each when I come over, Konaru.
Thanks.
But
Well,
I have,
actually, I'm not sure if I have any right now. They might not have grown, but I'll try.
Molly, you're like jumping ahead every fucking day, so just jump ahead 2 more days and they'll be grown. But no, I have.
My turnips are gonna go bad
Oh yeah, good point.
again.
Yeah, they already have.
Again.
Does it really
I'm
matter?
still scared. I'm still scared to like deal with turnips right now.
I know. I kind of regret even bothering with it this week, especially now that we're like rolling in money. Like our turnips do not matter.
I have 6 million still, and I have 4 rooms in my house.
Oh my god, Molly,
I'm about to have more rooms in my house.
are you gonna build up Cam's house too, or is he on his own?
No, he doesn't. He said it ruined the game for him.
Oh, suddenly he's against time traveling and against cheating. He was the one who
No, he's
started
not
all
against time traveling. He's like, you broke the game.
No, it's funny because I don't know if Nestor still listening to us right here, but like he when before I even did the thing with you, like when I had just gotten the ones this morning, my first batch of crowns and whatever, he's all like, nope, you broke the game, delete your account. He's like, you're done. And he was on my case before because I went to this friend's town and they were time traveling and they had a really nice Able sister shop, so I was able to buy the outfit I have now, the all matching school outfit. And I bought that face mask there too. I still need better sunglasses, but I picked really stupid eyes. I hate the eyes they have in this game, so I'm still wearing them.
Just choose them. Just change them. You just need a mirror and you can change your eye.
I know, but I'm stupid. How did you? Anyways, I'll get back to that in a second. But anyways, and even then he was like, "You're still profiting from time travelers. Like for shame, for shame." Yeah, he's saying death. See, all time travelers are cheaters. Cheaters.
I haven't time traveled for the record, so
Yeah, for the record,
I guess I'm
I
not
In my
doing it.
defense, I wasn't going to, but then my boyfriend kept trying traveling and we're on the same island, so I was like, I might as well. It's already happened.
No, fucking Molly. Like,
Although
I
I think it might be because of time traveling that I can't find
I
any.
think you broke the game for. I think you need to stop for a couple days, like real days.
Because I like legitimately cannot see any. Like I go to islands and there's never any villagers on them.
Yeah, I think you like soft locked the game for a
No,
couple days.
I'm actually the same way, and I haven't. What do you call it?
No, but she's
haven't time
also
traveled.
she's also frozen it, so she hasn't gotten her 3 new villagers. Like she's still stuck with the original 2.
Oh,
But I think you legit need to stop time traveling for a day or 2 to get them. And then I'm actually being serious there. I think you need to like make a couple real days pass. Yeah, like I don't want to do that. I cheat only now. But no, I went to Molly's island one day, and it was a nice island, but it was a work in progress. Then I leave and come back, and she has like paths. The Able sisters have opened her shop. Her store is upgraded, and I'm like, "What the fuck did you do?" It's like I've been time traveling.
Well, that's because my boyfriend was trying to go to his birthday. But then went to the wrong date because he realized he didn't actually give his character his real birthday. So he had to go to another thing. All of a sudden the shop was just like, we're upgrading. And we were like, what did we do? Because usually it's a buy a certain amount, you know? It's not just time, but I guess it's just time.
Well, I'm glad it's time because I was thinking about that too. Like, most of the bells I've been spending have been on other people's islands. So I'm like, if it's
ooh,
your
someone's
own,
coming to my island.
it's probably Nestor. Or it's probably Molly. Which one of it is you? Is it?
I don't know.
It's not me.
Well, we'll see if it's Nestor or someone else.
It's definitely not me.
Guys,
Shout them out right now.
I gave one of the Islanders a crown, which is a 250,000 bell item,
Oh, yeah,
and she
it's
gave
Nestor.
me a denim jacket in return.
It's a 500,000 bell item. It sells for 250.
Nestor's coming to my island.
And she gave you a fucking denim jacket. That's the best. It's like, oh, thank you. Here's a jacket I'm tired of wearing. I wonder if she's gonna if she puts it on, or she's gonna put it in her house.
She put it on at first, and now she's not wearing it anymore. But sometimes she wears. I made a no-known dress. I made a no-known dress, and sometimes she wears the no-known dress.
Aww.
She's my friend. I don't like the Kabuki lion. He creeps me out.
No, he would.
I want him to
too.
leave.
Like I said, there's a similar rabbit, and the rabbit's named Genji. He's the one that actually says otaku. Like, he's all like, "How's it going, otaku?" Or like, things like that. Like, whoever the fuck gave him his dialogue.
I want him on my island now.
I hate him. He was on my New Leaf Island for a while, and I had to get rid of him through an amiibo because I'm like, I don't want to. You're a fucking weeb. No, and the best part is he's a jock weeb. Like, all he says is like otaku, and then he always talks about working out and like running a lap. I'm like, he's a jock weeb.
That's interesting.
It's the weirdest mix.
Can I tell you all the conversation me and Manuel had earlier? He said, I got a hamster cage on my island, and Manuel bought one. But then he gave it to someone else. And he said, I just realized I have a hamster villager. I'm going to order another one, referring to like the hamster cage, through Nook. And I said, LOL. And he said, I'm going to send it to my hamster villager. It's like having a baby. And I said, OMFG. And he said, a baby she keeps in a cage.
It's true. It's like giving her a baby. It's like, here's your new baby. It's like, yay, he's in a cage. I don't have to actually take care of him ever. No, that.
I've had a lot of dreams recently that I've had like guinea pigs and hamsters and stuff, and then I've forgotten about them and they've all died. Like, it's happened a lot in the past. Like, I've had this thing like a couple times in the past couple months.
Childhood trauma you need to talk about.
I don't know what's going on. Like, I never forgot my hamsters in real life.
Childhood trauma's next topic, I guess.
I didn't sign up for this. Bye.
I didn't sign up either.
Childhood trauma.
Everyone else get on my island.
So everyone has like had the pee dream of those kids. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about
I
childhood
think
trauma.
everyone's had a pee dream.
No, all I know about the pee dream, and to be honest, I've never had, for the record. So this is all I know. Which one was it? I want to say it was Family Guy. And they're like, when you pee in the dream, you pee in real life. And that's all I was thinking about.
Sure that's true.
Huh? It probably is true.
Have you ever had dreams where you keep peeing but you still feel like you have to pee? Or dreams where you keep drinking water but you're still thirsty, and then you wake up and you're like, oh my god, I'm so thirsty, because you are actually thirsty.
I've woken up having to like intensely pee before, but I've never had it never reflected in the dream. Like, I've had dreams interrupted, like I'm just doing random bullshit, like running from aliens or something. Yeah, exactly, like running from aliens, and suddenly my body's like, nope, you gotta take care of this, like, now.
Have you ever had a special kind of dream, man?
Oh my god, are we gonna get weird? This conversation's gonna get really weird. For the record, I don't think there is a boy on Earth who hasn't. So, and it's normal.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like, yeah, it is. It's like a thing.
I just want, in case there's like a 13-year-old boy, a very confused 13-year-old boy watching this right now, like, what happened last night? It's normal. It's normal. Just move on.
I'm scared.
Oh my god.
I wish Callie was here. She would have reacted great to that.
No, I don't think you were there when we were repeating our funny moments from last year. But my favorite moment oh my god, Konaru. My favorite moment out of all the podcasts we did last year was when her and I were like intensely arguing about the nudes thing. About people sending and receiving nudes. Me and Callie. Remember, we were like intensely. Yeah, you were, but you weren't there when I remember that. But you weren't there when I referred to it later on, like a few episodes later. But it was so funny because we were like intensely arguing, and I'm like, who here has never sent to who here? has never sent or received a nude, and she was the only one to raise her hand. But that's not the funniest part. The funniest part was the whole time. Konaru had a camera back then, by the way. But the whole time, like I was arguing with her about that. I said that Konaru had the biggest shit-eating his grin on her face, and it was just the best reaction ever. I was just laughing my ass off because of that. Not so much because of Callie being like defeated, but yeah.
Oh my god, my next home improvement is going to be 1,200,048.
Holy shit! Time to double up.
Time to get more crowns. Make me some more crowns too.
Make me some too. I'll actually
oh my god,
you.
Not everyone. I'll actually pay you with the bells.
Oh, Nestor,
if the bells I earn
Make
from
me some too. Even though
Each crown is $500,000 for me to.
just send it to me
exactly.
and not anyone else.
You're not even playing.
I'm also
You're
wearing a
fucking Root
crown.
Factory.
Do you see that? I'm wearing a crown. Can you see the crown that I'm wearing?
Oh, she's on your
Yes.
island. I should.
Wait, no, she's not.
Oh, she's not.
I'm not on her
Well,
island. No,
oh.
I'm still on mine.
She's doing her room.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the older... Actually, I know I'm not mistaken. In the older games, the crown was off-center, and I liked the way it was in the older games as well, better.
Mm-hmm. It was like over here.
Yeah. It wasn't like
Crowns are my thing. Like, for 9 Mermaids, they're like, if we ever, like, draw pictures of your character, like, for singing, like, for, like, video purposes, are there any things that you like, want us to add? And it's like, she always wears a crown. Even when we're maids in like the 2th anniversary special, I have a crown. It's made of my shirt. It's just little
cheaters. Because we're talking about doing the crowns. I like how it still says childhood trauma. I was gonna get rid of that.
We aren't even talking.
Molly
do you want to
is
talk about childhood trauma? Because I have some stuff that we can unload.
It says Molly is a trauma. I'll just leave it like that.
Molly is a trauma.
Because they're two separate text lines. I'm gonna leave. I was gonna put
Nestor's
Molly.
leaving. Thanks for coming, Nestor.
I was gonna say Molly is the nerd, but I'll just leave it. Molly is a trauma. What was I saying? Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. There wasn't nothing to say there, but no, Nestor leaving. It was funny because I left him alone on my island earlier. And I don't think he took anything, but he took a picture of my private island and my private beach. No, we weren't live yet.
Private beach.
We weren't live yet. But no, I wasn't going to say. But for those who don't know, my private beach is set up. My little headcanon for my island is that it's slowly being invaded by lawn gnomes. And they're placed randomly around the island, like all over the place. Like, I have like 5 of them so far. I'm going to get more. And they're coming from the beach. And the reason why they're alive now is because there's radioactive.
Is that why your gnome is facing towards the island?
Yes.
Now it's facing out.
Yes, he just got there. He just arrived, and there's radioactive waste there. So all the radioactive waste has been dumped from that beach. Has been turning lawn gnomes in the sea. Don't ask questions. Has been turning lawn gnomes into the sea, into cannibals. So yeah, that's my headcanon.
What the?
It's funny because I need to buy more fucking gnomes, but I only have 5 of them on there right now. But every so often somebody will find one, huh?
I just realized that there's actually going to be a time where you can make paths like in the game, and I spent so much time putting down a freaking design that I haven't designed yet, but I'm going to design it, and I'm very upset that I could have waited.
They outlined that in a Nintendo Direct, Molly. I thought you would have known this already. That's been like a...
I didn't watch that.
I mean, because I've been watching them, like, I've been, like, following this game religiously since they announced it, but yeah. But you need to play normal for a day or two and get your damn villagers. So you can get a hamster, too, and give her a baby in a cage. That's a normal thing to say.
I have to, build my house up first, and then I'll go back to regular time.
It's funny because Racheal's playing Rune Factory 4, and whenever I think of Rune Factory 4, and also I said this in our like pre-discussion, but I have a friend of mine who lives really close to me, mind you, and like I'm like I should go over her house and just like steal it when like shit goes to hell, but she has the Japanese release of Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, aka formerly Harvest Moon. And she's been playing it on like equally with Animal Crossing, but I want that game so bad. Like I refuse to play Rune Factory 4, and I know it's technically a different game and series entirely, sorta, but it's still Harvest Moon.
It still is, yeah. No, it's generally the same idea, except it has fighting in it and an actual plot line.
I can't remember what the hell the other one was. It's a futuristic one too. I can't remember what the name of that series was called. I think it was called Innocent World or something like that. But this is a sci-fi.
What game?
Um,
Rune Factor is like Harvest Moon.
Yeah, it literally is. I think they even used to call it the Fantasy Harvest Moon when the first one was out. That was like the subtitle.
For Rune Factory?
Yeah, I think the first one
because it's from the same company.
Yeah, and then there was a futuristic Harvest Moon too, and then there was Hometown Story, which is just like, I think that's supposed to be like an action RPG version of Harvest Moon.
I cosplay from Harvest Moon.
I know, like fucking. All I know about Rune Factory 4, is not the one that has like. It's kind of a stupid thing to say because of course every anime-ish game has like the big booby like anime girl, but doesn't that one have like the big booby anime girl you could like marry? Right?
Harvest Moon doesn't.
Huh? Which? There's more than one?
I don't think any of them necessarily have a large chest.
That's what I'm saying, but doesn't one of them have it? That's what I'm saying, because that game doesn't really have a lot of them.
In Harvest Moon?
Are you talking about Nancy?
I think I might be. Rune Factory 4.
But you can't romance her.
What?
She's married.
Oh, you better break that marriage up.
2 of the MILFs are married, hence why they're MILFs. But
Hence why they're MILFs.
They're the 2 with the chest showing. All your options are not.
Oh my god, that's upsetting. Rune Factory 4 marriage options. Let me look this up.
I mean, Potpourri is wearing a corset.
Oh yeah, that's Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon actually, I think, has chestier.
No, Harvest Moon does.
Yeah, girls. The girls in Rune Factory 4 aren't super chesty. I actually am not a huge fan of the girls in this game.
Because they're not chesty?
Like marriage. No, they're cute, but they wouldn't be like marriage level cute. And one of them's a literal child, so I can't.
That's illegal. I'm calling the police.
But she's not like she's a butterfly monster.
Does she look like she's 5, but she's actually 102 or something like that?
Yeah, basically.
It's like I'm actually 900 years old.
Every time she talks, she's a child, and I want to pet her, but that's it.
Molly is a trauma. There's actually people watching us right now, and like a decent amount. And I'm just like, it still says Molly is a trauma. Yeah, for those who are just tuning in, Molly has dreams where she pees.
That's a child.
No, I have dreams where I can't pee.
You can marry that.
I'm in a room and there's no walls around the toilet.
That's wrong, Racheal.
You
wrong
can
too,
marry
Konaru. But no, I told a story in the past. But there was this bar. I don't know if Molly's ever heard this story. Konaru definitely has.
She's cute though.
She is cute, but that's still illegal.
Yeah, it's cute in the sense of like she's adorable and you'd want to befriend her.
Oh, what the hell? We had a lot of people watching it. Now it's on the broadcast. Yes, I will say like there was a lot of people watching too. It'll come back. It'll come back. I found out that time it went offline with Ren that it just comes back if you don't fuck with it. So I'll leave it unless it kicks me off on XSplit.
No, it came back.
Oh, it did. Okay, well, I'll keep talking anyway. I was telling the story in the past podcast that there was a time I was drinking in Kabukicho, not even Kabukicho, in Golden Guy, and there's this bar. I told this part of the story many times. The bar is the one that had the narrow staircase. I fell down on the way out. But that's not the crazy part of the story. But when I was in there, it had a bathroom that was literally a bathroom stall in the bar, but that was the bathroom. Like, you could see over it or under it, technically, if you just, like, tried. And it was a
Same with the public bathrooms in Central Park. The stalls are very low.
No, but that's the thing. Who's that?
It's Dillis. It's the one that I married.
Oh. She's not booby at all.
He's a boy!
Oh. That explains everything. Okay, now you can tell, but at first it was kind of blurry and I just saw, like, a corset. And I'm like, why is there a corset? There ain't no boobs.
It's a dude. I'm playing as a girl.
But no, like, that bar, like, you don't understand, like, it wasn't that the stalls in the bathroom were small. The bathroom literally was a stall in the corner of the open bar. Like, and it was unisex. I saw girls go in there while I was there. And I was just like, the fuck? I mean, when you're drunk, I used it too. When you're drunk, you're just gonna use whatever. But it's still like, it's so awkward. And of course, it's not a walled off place. So you hear everything. And like any place in Golden Guy especially, it's a tiny bar. So there's somebody like with their back basically to the fucking stall. And they're just hearing, like, that's a lot of pee, kind of thing.
I don't know how
the-
to feel about that.
The bathroom doesn't make
What's Konaru sharing? I can't. Hold on, I'm gonna open this to read it.
I don't know what Konaru sharing. What is this?
Konaru's being a butt. Oh, what is this?
AKB uniforms for Animal Crossing.
Oh. I'm not able to. Wait, I can scan things in. I just can't make them. Right? They let you scan it early on, so you can't make them until you get the able people.
You just need the phone app. You need the Nintendo app, and then you can do it from there.
Oh. Fucking Morgan was lying to me then. I need to go beat her up.
That's how I've been able to get all those, at least.
Oh, no, but I mean to export them. Just you can import them through the phone app. I don't think you can export them yet.
No, you can't export what you made on New Horizons yet.
Molly, you suck.
Hmm?
Molly's just like, Yeah, so Molly had a dream where she couldn't pee because the walls were there, and I thought that was so funny because yeah, we all pee. Everybody pees. That should be the name of the book. What's that book called? Everybody poops. Everybody pees.
Is this the second installment of
Yes.
Everybody Poops?
Everybody pees.
I wonder if that book actually exists, though. Like, it's like the second
I'm
installment
kind of
of it.
scared to Google that.
It's not a thing. By the
Okay.
way, I worked at a bookstore, and we sold that book.
Everybody poops.
Yeah,
I think I would say I work at a bookstore. I know every book that's ever been written.
Well, you know what she means. It's like definitely. It's not a fit. It's probably if you look at Everybody Pees, it'll probably be a fetish porn.
Probably,
so
yeah, I would say it's to be like some fetish website.
I'm only here for Racheal
Where
and
everyone is
Molly,
peeing.
and not the boomer on the top left. Fuck you.
the boomer. Oh
No, it's funny because we did.
Oh, that's weird because to me you're on the bottom left.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm on the bottom right.
no. So who's the boomer on
Oh,
your screen?
I'm so stupid. Of course, our positions are different because you're. I'm stupid. Ignore me. Ignore me. I'm a boomer. I don't know how technology works. Oh, good thing Weston's there. Now, I didn't show this on the podcast. I showed this before the podcast started, but I went with my mom to a store earlier because she had to go buy like trash bags and some other like doodads as one has to because we're all like locked in. But while I was at the store, they had a smoke area like that sold like pipes and like cigarillos. Is that what they're called? And like
Wait, what
What
store
are
is this?
cigarillos?
it's like
They're like small cigars.
Yeah,
They're the
okay.
shape. They're cigars, but they're like the shape and size of a cigarette. Well, I mean they're all the same shape, but they're the size of a cigarette.
it was a mom and pop like it's like a grocery store. It's like a mom and pop general store for lack of a better term. But like they must get decent smoke shop business because it's advertised outside, and when you go inside, it's a really nice display case. Like like and there's weighing machines and like not weighing machines. You call those scales. There's little like electronic scales and so on. But they had like the smoking trays, and I bought this one there. So Weston, check it out. It's Mario Smoke Sesh, and it's bootleg Mario holding a bong. A really weird looking bong, might I add. But and I didn't tell anyone else this, but this wasn't the only bootleg one they had. They had a Grand Theft Auto one. They had I think there was a Sonic one and some other ones, but they were kind of expensive. It's like $10, and like it wasn't really worth it for the meme and the I just wanted to show. It's just for the story piece, and the only one I really cared about was Mario. But yeah. And that's my essential quarantine purchase is a bootleg Mario Smoke Sesh. Isn't that what everybody would buy first?
Shesh.
Sesh.
Shesh.
But yes.
The H at the end. Shesh.
I showed off the Chinese smoking set I got months ago now in a past podcast. It's a really nice one. I can actually reach it, but it's too dark.
You got that in Taiwan, right?
No, the Chinese smoking set that I got recently is an antique one I got at an antique store in Long Beach.
Oh.
But fun. I don't know if I told this story, and I think Weston was on because he looked up the matches for me. It turns out the matches that they left in the packaging are also old matches from like the 70s that are long out of print that are also worth money like in their own right, which is insane. But fun fact, that smoking set I bought from an antique store. I wish I showed it to you guys, but it's up there. I don't want to drop it. And
Probably for the
apparently
best.
it belonged to the owner of the store's father. Like, and so it's like it's not like antique, but he bought it like obviously like in the 40s or the 50s. It's been the family since that long, and she's like, oh, and she's was really rather old herself. I don't know if she has kids, but she's like, oh, I decided to sell it, so I bought it, and it's like pretty cool. I'm like, I'm gonna pass it on to my hamster, and they'll make good use of it. The reason I brought that up is for those that don't know, even though these are really popular, like obviously for like weed or whatever, I just said it straight up. It's legal in California, so fuck it. I can say it. Actually, I don't know why I'm being so coy, but the smoking.
Can you make a observatory in this room or in this game? Because Celeste is here in my island.
Oh, she is.
Being her cute little owl self.
It's funny because I was talking to Tiffany about her because she's like, Blathers is so cute, and I'm like, oh, you don't like Celeste? And I showed her Celeste. She's like, no, Blathers is cuter. So I'm like, okay. She just likes burbs, but no, smoke sets come with trays.
Celeste is cuter.
That's all I was getting at. Smoke sets come with trays. That was all I had to say. But so Molly, we're gonna buy some weed and we're gonna smoke. But since we can't actually see each other because social distance, I'm gonna smoke outside your window and get arrested. Well, you don't even have a floor window, so I'm just gonna smoke on the corner.
Climb up.
Yeah, just to be smoke.
Well, I mean, if you the door to like the gate, we can see that from our patio. So if you could like go out there and I could watch you from the patio.
Like, hi, man. Like, yeah. Till the cops roll up and give me a ticket. Who's like doing Yoshi shit? I heard like a Yoshi thing.
Yoshi.
I got a DIY recipe.
Oh, it sounds like a Yoshi cry, like Yoshi. You know, like I don't know if you guys know what sound I'm talking about. Who did that?
Wow, that was insane.
I know, who did that? I couldn't tell.
Very cute.
Was that Molly or Konaru? Oh, it's Molly.
It's Molly.
It's like Yoshi. I can't. That's why it was Yoshi.
Manuel, please never do that again.
No, I'm doing it right now.
I can't do the Toad voice though. I can't do the Toad voice like Max. Yeah. Or maybe I can.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. Maybe it's something in my hands. Hold on.
Can we do that thing where we go through and try to make this sound of every Pokemon? Because I saw this person do that once where they like tried to voice act every Pokemon.
Wait,
it was really fun.
You mean the actual Pokemon sound or do you mean the game sounds? I have a friend
the
of mine.
The actual Pokemon sounds, not the game sounds. The game sounds are just like
no, but I have friends who know those sounds. Like apparently Drowsy is like, but like this like really, and
accurate. Yeah, sounds just like that.
But it was really funny because she was doing it, and then all of a sudden she gets the Victory Bell, and Victory Bell just screams.
Well, yeah, some of them have really weird ones, and
it's like
they could only make so many sounds.
Bella's weeping.
What is that? I came back and all I hear is screeching. All I hear is screeching. I know exactly. All I hear is screeching. Oh, I didn't even see. Look, Nestor. This is my Mario stash, so you could see it too. But yeah,
because Nestor wants to see that.
He does. I want a Luigi stash now, but no, I don't regret that purchase at all. I'm gonna use it to. You
gotta paint your own now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a blank one and then paint it so I can make Super Luigi sesh. There we go.
I can now move my mailbox. I can just pick it up with Y and move. It's that easy to move mailbox. Just like it's that. Just like fun fact for anyone that's playing Animal Crossing and doesn't know this: if you eat a fruit in the game, you can then dig up a tree, like a full-grown tree. You just dig it up and move it somewhere.
Excuse me.
Like, okay, I was thinking the other day, girl pants in real life, like, I can't even fit my phone in my pants, but my Mii character, or my Animal Crossing character can fit a freaking whale shark in her, like, egg sushi costume. Like, what is this?
That's... You don't want to know what the extra storage is. I know these sounds... I didn't mean like that! I really didn't! Okay, it just happens to be that you were. Oh my god, you just shut up. I didn't mean like that.
He meant like that.
No, okay.
Like that.
Okay, I did
didn't
it.
say
Wait, let me
otherwise.
finish. I did it, I didn't. I did mean, like, up one's butt, but I didn't mean...
You didn't mean it like that.
I didn't mean the other female-only one. That's what I meant to say. I didn't shut up. I'm taking this whole deeper. I didn't mean the female-only one, though. I didn't.
Daniel, shut up.
Probably not mention digging hole.
Digging shut up! What are you talking about? Who digs holes in there? Oh wait. I need to shut up. I know these sounds as well. I
Anyway.
smoke. When there's just like, I smoke. What was that? I was like Toad. I smoke. But oh, by the way, the it doesn't even fit in the little green screen. By the way, that the thing I've been showing as the topic thingy, the awkward Spider-Man is a Call Me Kevin meme. And for those who don't know, I'm obsessed with Call Me Kevin. He's a YouTuber who does a Jim Pickens. He does a ton of things, but he does Jim Pickens as one of his famous things. And
the best part of any of those episodes was just like so we left off with Jim Pickens, or like what's his son's name? No Name Pickens.
First name Pickens.
First name Pickens is getting married to the Grim Reaper. Shrek is in his weird bondage sex room, and like, and Jim Pickens is trying to get out of hell.
Yes. I love those recaps, and it's like, why? It's like, imagine somebody. It's a very long running series, so imagine somebody just picking it up at that episode. It's like, wait, what? And then like Santa Claus was addicted to cocaine for a while too.
There's some weird Sims.
There's a lot of Sim mods, yeah. Like he got that tiny house mod, the one that came with the college ones, and he got a tiny house, but he also modded it so you could get like up to 30 characters on your lot, or 24. So he moved in 24 people to the tiny house, and of course they like all died, and including first name Pickens starved to death, and I'm like, what the hell? He killed his son and didn't even try to bring him back. He just let him die. But yeah. Like,
okay, Wesley, so you can voice 12 Pokemon as one of those Pokemon. Victory Bell.
Victory! I can't even do that. Like,
No, it's literally he just screeches. It's like that.
Oh my god! Earphone warning!
Every time.
It's like whenever like somebody comments on like a YouTube video, it's like, 1 minute 12 seconds earphone warning.
Yeah, just have it at the beginning with your disclaimer.
It's like all the times Molly does a Victory Bell scream. Oh
Just
man!
stop it in 3, 2, 1.
I can't even do that. I'm not gonna
Let's all
try.
do it.
Just have the picture in the corner.
It's all do it. It's
No.
literally just a screech. It's not even a sound. I don't think I properly know it. I gotta look this up real fast. Oh, my mouse. I don't know why my mouse isn't working. Wait, this isn't a ball mouse. Why is it not working?
I can't do Pikachu though. Pikachu's too high.
Pikachu.
Like that. It's higher than that.
Pika. Yeah, you're kind of doing it though.
It's higher than that
Too
though.
high.
No, my favorite is that Molly too? What the fuck?
Yes, this is all me.
Konaru, you give it a shot. I think you can do it. You're
No, I'm not doing it. My voice has been strained.
It's funny. My favorite part is when Pikachu's having a conversation, and I obviously can't go that high, but it's like Pika, 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 Pikachu, Pikachu, Pika, Pika. You know what I'm talking about? It's like what? What's he saying? He has 3 syllables to his language. How the fuck is he communicating? Oh my god. Oh, don't remind me. I don't know why I thought about this. Have you guys seen the? Have you guys seen? I don't even. Is it called Strokemon? Have you guys seen the horrible Pokemon porn?
Stromon.
It's free on Pornhub, I think. Like, it's legit free on Pornhub, like,
Oh.
officially.
I was about to ask why do you know that, but then I was like, oh wait.
Yeah. I've mentioned this in past podcasts before. We watch like porn at certain group gatherings, parties, like for fun, and we all laugh. Especially those. Like, we watched a SpongeBob one
There
too,
was
which is
one
terrible.
time at Anime, I was like, what are you guys doing right now? Should I come up to the room? And he just sends me a video of porn on the TV, and I was like, okay, I guess not.
I think that was before the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was legitimately, as weird as this, it was actually research for a panel.
Yeah.
It was actually
for the
us
Aogudo
doing-
panel.
It
was
was
like-
an
it was a
AV
different panel.
It was an
Which
AV panel.
sounds-
It is a different panel.
Yeah.
Which sounds really like that'd be research for a panel, but it actually was.
It really was. But I would still do it anyway. Like we were playing porn. We didn't do it as much. We were playing porn at AX too. Maybe you weren't there for that. But we were
Have
playing.
you seen the lemon stealing horrors porn? You can see, like, I haven't seen the whole thing, but I just seen the intro before it actually gets like pornographic, and it's hilarious. It's so bad.
Lemon
okay, it's
stealing?
bad. It's bad funny. I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say it's like godsend acting, everyone was amazing, or
No,
I wasn't sure where
it's
you were
porn.
going
Well, like,
for.
For the record,
That's the point. That's why I was expecting the opposite.
For those who've never seen the Strokem, it might not be called Strokemon, by the way. I remember it's like Dikachu is like the Pikachu, even though she's a girl, it's still Dikachu. But it's honestly the stuff of nightmares. Like, I'm not
Wait,
gonna.
is it the one where Meowth and Ash have sex and then Ash starts becoming Meowth?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fault you if that's your kink, but I am gonna say, what the fuck? I just finished saying I'm not gonna call you out, but what the fuck? But no, really, it's like, for those who don't know, Wood Rocket do a lot of porn parodies. They've done like Avengers. They did a Trump one, and so they've done tons of them, but for some reason, the ones that involve like heavy makeup or costumes are just ridiculous. Like the SpongeBob one. Oh my god! Like, whose fantasy was that? Like who asked for this?
That was so creepy. Are we talking about the same one thoh? There's a lot.
Well, there's one where he's wearing this big ass costume. His head's like in the middle, but it's like
Okay.
he's getting serviced by the squirrel character. I forget her name. I forget the
Sandy.
Sandy. Yeah. And she's like, I can't breathe if I take off my helmet or whatever. It's like, oh well, just put this in your mouth instead. We'll just. Oh god, it's getting terrible. But that's literally the plot of that. What are we
You could
talking
read through
about?
this.
Yeah, exactly. What are we talking about anymore? I was gonna say I'll put links below, but I won't. But I will say that you could just look these up. They're officially on the Wood Rocket Productions Pornhub channel, and I don't know if they have their paid versions that are more expensive. You know, they probably are, but they are free to watch. You know, and if you really want to watch more of that, then do that on your own time. I'm fine with that. What the fuck? Did someone get shot, Konaru? Who was that?
No, it was my boyfriend's chair. Sorry.
Someone got shot. I'm
Okay,
like,
I bought some incense in the game, and they called it fragrance sticks.
Oh, I love that.
fragrance sticks. It's funny because
That's actually they're called that in certain places.
it's funny you bring that
Not
up.
in America.
No, it's funny you bring that up again because they also sold incense at the shop we were at today. And
I realized that sounded really bad. Not in America. No,
not in America, not in Trump's America. But
Not my America. Oh,
But
In
no,
God.
Japan, there's these little sticks that'll sometimes come with character goods, and they're called fragrance sticks.
but they're also incense.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just generally put them on something and you just let them burn because they're not on sticks; they're just the small sticks of the fragrance.
oh.
I have some, but I can't reach for them right now.
Yeah, actually, I've never shown you guys, but like up here's all a bunch of bullshit. Like I have this, I've had this same desk thing. It's moved with me for years, and like there's like a desk. There's a shelf above here, and there's a lot of incense burners. I used to have a lot of incense, but I threw them all away recently. So I'm like, I'm gonna get a bunch of new ones at the Renaissance Fair, and of course they canceled it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, because the Renaissance Fair has a booth I love, which I guess I'll order from them online. Still support them. Support your local people, by the way. But the Renaissance Fair, there's this place I want to say I actually will put a link to them below. They're amazing. I've always shopped at them. It's like Ananda Trader. I want to say their name is. I'm 99% sure that's her name, but I'll definitely have a link to it on YouTube. But they're amazing, and I was gonna buy a bunch of incense this year to like restock and everything. I buy all my incensey goods from them. They sell a lot of cool stuff. They sell like dice made out of like bones and everything like that. And I have some of those.
Those are neat.
Yeah. And like all the prices are super reasonable, especially because they're a physical location at a Renaissance fair. It sounds so ridiculous when you think about it that way, but I'm like, why is this stuff so cheap? They also sell puzzle boxes and other weird shit, and I bought so much stuff from them. But anyway, that's an aside.
My house is now as big as it will ever get.
Oh my God, Molly.
I had that room.
I was saying though that that store we went to today, it had incense too, because of course it does. It's a smoke shop. A smoke shop also. Mind you, the whole place was a more of a market. We went there literally to buy trash bags and like grocery stuff, but they had the smoke stuff. But my mom was like, "Oh, there's incense," and she they kind of had the boxes mixed up, and she almost accidentally bought cannabis incense that was in like the wrong box. Yes. And two things on that.
Interesting.
No, two things on that. One, I love that my mom, who's like is she a great grandmother? No, she's just a grandmother right now. Like, of course, no grandchild has a kid yet. But one of her
What do
grandchildren.
you mean? Of course not. I have a great niece.
No,
or a great nephew.
To be fair, I don't know why I said that either.
25. I'm 27. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but my nephew is 19, I think. So technically, it could happen. But anyway, she's still a grandmother. But my grandmother-aged mother almost bought cannabis incense. But two, why does cannabis incense exist? That seems to like
that is really interesting.
Like I'm not gonna go too deep into like Manuel as a bad kid, but to me, incense was always a thing you lit to like, and that's not obviously why they sell it at the smoke shop. By the way, it's you light it to cover the weed smell. You don't light it so it smells more like it.
Yeah.
So I found that amusing. It's like
I just like incense.
No, it's like I don't actually smoke.
I just like incense.
It's like I don't actually smoke weed. I just want to look cool and pretend I do. So I like cannabis incense. It's like, yeah, I just smoke so much pot. Yeah. Aren't I rad?
To go with the thing I did earlier, my little baggie. I'm going back onto the actual topic, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, the topic of this I never actually said it. The topic of the podcast was supposed to be things we do. Things we are doing to survive quarantine.
Well, I mean, this has been it. Animal Crossing.
To be honest, this is a big part of it too. It's just I don't know about Racheal, but I've been
doing a lot of stuff.
But real talk, like I've been like I mentioned earlier, like I was talking to Tiffany, and like we were so bored one of the nights, like we got in a call. What is that?
It's a board. I put a bunch of washi tape on a cork board.
Oh, is that like a plain board and you just like... Oh, okay, I see what you did.
Yeah. I put washi tape and then I put a bunch of my rando charms on this one. This one's not character specific like my other two are. I did this one last night.
Straight your washi tape placement is. Like
that was me.
I've tried to do something similar to that.
Years.
Yeah, I tried to do something similar to that. And I messed up within like the third row and I just never finished.
I had a lot of mental breakdowns over this.
No, I mean, it's driving, especially because it's patterned that way. That would drive me crazy to get that perfect.
And then I ran out of the polka dot on this very top line. I was supposed to actually have this black too.
Are you gonna cry?
I ran out. I almost did. It was hilarious. I was on a call with my boyfriend while I was making this, and he just started laughing so hard at my breakdown.
Quarantine blues.
So pretty.
By the way, I don't think I'm going to call it this on YouTube because it'll probably get us flagged.
I like making a lot of character boards with washi tape.
Oh my god, this won't move. The podcast is called Quarantine Blues on Twitch. But yeah, so while Rachel's being creative, I've been mostly like, it's funny because I haven't really been, nothing's changed for me for like the 2 or 3 weeks before this all went down to the past week. But it's been driving me crazy. Like my sleep schedule is literally gone to shit. And but yeah, like I was saying, like I was bored one night, and like Racheal, Tiffany and I were like in a random ass call from like 3 to 6 a.m. Then like, I'm gonna go to sleep because that's the normal time to sleep at like 7 a.m. right? And then I woke up and played some more Animal Crossing. But yeah, there's been a lot of that bullshit. There's been a lot of it's been a lot of this, a lot of random calls, like not just with Tiffany but other friends. I'm like, yeah, they just get a call and shoot the shit. Oh look, it's Rachel's Switch. What's on the back? Oh god. For those who don't know, I make fun of Racheal because she has like 235 hours.
45.
45. Fucking hell. Remember I said you're gonna get to 250? You're like, I won't get to
No,
250.
I wouldn't. I won't. I still haven't.
What are you gonna do? You only got 5 more hours to play the game forever.
But I'm playing other stuff now. Oh god, my drift.
But yeah, Joy-Con drift?
I have Joy-Con drift, and
Send
it's
them in.
irritating me.
No, it's funny.
Yeah.
One of mine has started to drift.
I just got it.
It's when
What is it?
It's when like it's literally when your analog stick just gets stuck in a direction and you're trying to fix it, but you can't. Like it just starts moving to the left or up or down or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there it goes. It's like just scrolling. It's scrolling on its own. You saw that? And before she moved, it's scrolling on its own. I'm essential worker since I work in transportation. Rip. Well, I guess it's both good and bad if you're essential.
I'm about to start working post, so I have to.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, probably. Oh well, too bad.
No, on one hand, it's great because it's like you have to worry about like potential job security. Like I'm not worried yet, but full disclosure, I am out of a job. But whatever. But other people probably are more worried than I am, and but on the same token, I wouldn't want to be out there on the front lines because I don't know, the disease is not that fun. I don't want to delve into that again. I said we weren't going to get negative here, but yeah, it doesn't seem that fun, even if you do survive it, which technically. But then again, like there was somebody under 18 who died recently, so I don't know.
Like from the disease or just in general?
From the disease. And I think they mentioned, but I think this is more because young people are stupid and going out. But apparently there are more young people than any other country getting it here. It's not the old people getting it like it is everywhere else. It's a ton of young people. But that's because all the young people are like, I'm still gonna party in Florida. Oh yeah, like
the California beaches were actually super full not too long ago.
Oh yeah, well okay. To be fair, I only picked out Florida because they're filmed for spring break.
Miami, yeah.
But yeah, but it's all the lockdowny areas. Like I just saw a story how San Francisco people are getting tickets because like they're going to friends' houses. Like they're not getting the clue.
Part of it I do understand though, because it's like people have spent like a lot of money on these things and they're not getting briefed.
What?
You know what I mean? So,
what are it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what the first thing you said.
Like lights and stuff, and like you bought like a travel package and like maybe it's not getting refunded. I'm not saying you should still go, but I understand like they're wanting to still go is beyond just wanting to go. It's also like they spent money on it.
I actually would have been on East Coast if this didn't happen because I was planning an East Coast trip from the 23rd until the 26th. And I had to go and cancel my plane and room, and I didn't get refunded for my room. But I decided that I still wasn't going.
Yeah, for the record, even if I had a trip, I probably would have canceled it, even at a loss, just because I'm like, it's one thing, I don't know. That maybe it's just me.
Well, we canceled our Japan trip, and the Airbnb refunded us. I'm not sure yet about the Japan room pass. I need to check on that. But then also, our flight, they give us a voucher.
Yeah, they won't give you a straight refund, but they'll sometimes just give you the credit kind of thing. That's what I got. I got credit, and I'm like, ooh, it's only good for a year.
You have to go soon.
As in year until next March.
Well,
but yeah, so that was fine. So that's why I've been doing a lot of creativity, because I want to not think about things that I could have been doing right now.
Well, I mean, I mean, sure that would have been a fun trip and everything like that, but I don't know. Me being at home is kind of the normal state of things. If anything, I feel like I've gotten less productive at home. It's almost like I swear, part of me wishes that I just like. That for some magical reason or whatever, nobody mentioned it on social media, and I don't watch TV, so I would have never found out any other way. So this would have just never happened. I mean, like to me, I would have never known this is happening, and I wouldn't have noticed, and I probably would have been more productive. If that makes any sense, because it's almost like a defeatist attitude, knowing I can't do anything. That I'm like, I'm just gonna sleep all day now. Not even sleep all day.
That's why I've been doing things.
I don't know. Like, it's not even a sleep all day thing. It's more of a days don't even matter, because Rachel and I was talking like, when are we gonna do this? Watch this anime thing that we've been watching, and I'm like, whenever, literally whenever. You could have messaged me at that 3 a.m. when Tiffany did. Like, watch the anime now. I'm like, sure, why not? What's life? What's a schedule anymore?
Now you're living the dream. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's like, what's a schedule? It's like it used to be like I actually had things to do. Like even when I was like working, even when I was like doing stuff from home. Because funny enough, I was mentioning this before. Like this was just my own laziness. This wasn't even like me like getting the word of the virus. I was just like, hey, I'm gonna work from home more because I can. Like not everything has to require me going out to an office. Well, obviously there's some location-y stuff. Don't ask what I do. But there's like office.
I'm gonna ask what you do.
Don't. Konaru would. It's funny. But by the way, that's all I was saying. I moved my office to home. But like Konaru, it was funny because I was on a podcast whatever that was with I don't think Molly was there yet, but we were talking about our retail experience, and I'm like, I work in the film industry, and her and fucking Nestor just laughed their asses off and would not stop, and I was getting so annoyed with them. But I work in the film industry. Stop smiling. I see everyone's like sliced. Look at Molly. Like, but anyway, but it's not that big of a secret. It's not. I just don't feel like saying certain things because it might demonetize us. What's that?
I'm honestly just a hermit, and I always have things to do at home because I don't like going out anyway.
Design this new logos and stuff.
No, I don't do graphic stuff. That's actually the one thing I can't do.
You suck. Konaru, go design his logos and stuff like you're supposed to do like a long ass time ago.
No.
I do stuff with my
You
hands,
actually
but
started and then never finished.
Yeah.
Wait, logos for what?
Everything. We're mainly a new A to J one that we've been literally working on for literally about 3 years now.
Just like his little coat that I made.
We've updated and created many other logos since, but never the A to J logo. And I don't know why. Honestly, the Ultra Podcast Z format, like the logo format, don't do it because it's already taken now. But it would have looked fine if we just made that into A to J. Like, you know, the A to J could have been the Z part, and then, you know, connections could have been like the rest of the font, and that was the logo. But it's already taken. Why can't people get creative for something just as simple? Is what I'm getting at, but I don't know. Konaru. I blame everyone else, but I'm not doing it either.
Do some hand sewing. Make a cute little jacket.
Oh yeah, she has a doll now. A BJD.
I do.
It's funny because we were reacting to Callie's Isabel cosplay video last week, and I was pointing out that she has a bald BJD in the background.
Does, yeah.
And I'm like, look, it's a BJD that's like looks like he's a little unkempt.
That was one of the things I was chatting with her about, is we were both talking like how we like them, and I ended up getting mine not too long after that, funny enough. But yeah, I made him a little coat. Little hand-stitched, rubbed coat.
That's your boy right there.
He is. I don't like this wig too much. I'm waiting on his actual wigs to come in. But he has these neat-ass eyes, and I'm all into the gemstone eyeball. It's so cool. Yeah, I'm making him clothes.
He's not naked.
He's not naked anymore. He has pants.
I wish that I had
with belts
fabric
because
to
that's
make-
cool.
fabric to make a cosplay out of.
Oh man, you should come to my house then. I hoard fabric. I have so much of it.
Well, you're far away.
Just drive up
Far
there.
away from me.
Yeah, no, just come up here. I'm good. You'll be safe.
You'll get stuck up there. They'll probably stop you halfway
Yeah,
there.
you'll get stuck. They'll stop you.
They'll stop you halfway there, I'm positive. You get a big ass ticket. Like, Konaru is probably stuck in Colorado now, by the way.
Yeah, I'm stuck here until the 9th.
The 9th?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna... Everyone who's watching this on YouTube, because we've actually... I mentioned this at the very top of the show. I'll mention it again. Thank you, by the way. We've had a lot of YouTube viewers of late, and I think it has to do with the fact that everyone's just like home, and they're just
Staying
like,
home.
yeah, like I'm gonna watch all the podcasts. We put out like 3 podcasts, like back to back, basically, and they all got like really good views. And I mentioned in the past that usually they would cannibalize each other. Only like the one that was up longest would get the views, and the other 2 would just die. But no, they've all gotten views, and some of them have gotten comments, which is like mad unusual. So I'm like, oh, people are watching it. Like, and of all things, like somebody commented on, because I was talking about Cinderella in one of them, and I put a link to the movie, and somebody watched the movie and then commented about Cinderella, and I'm like, that's both cool and weird that you watched
But they're listening to you.
Yeah, that they watched that far, and it was way in the podcast. It was like way in the middle. That they watched that far, then we're like, I'm gonna go watch the Cinderella movie he mentioned, and he put a link to. And then
we have nothing else to do.
Exactly. So people are just having this shit in the background. So yeah, my point is, thank you all for watching it. But there was actually a bigger point to that. I forgot what it was.
To do. Trust me.
And if you're really, really bored and you want to get off the internet and go do something more productive, I assure you, go watch those Red Rocket porns, and you will not want to see the internet for a while. You'll
Only
be like,
if you're older, please.
Oh yes. I should also mention this.
Please.
Even though I mentioned earlier about 13-year-old boys who were confused, you cannot watch the videos. You stop
you
it.
Specifically.
You. It may be normal, but watching those videos is not. No, I'm just kidding. Oh god. But no, real talk, don't do it. I cannot legally condone you to do that. But I will say that, like, when I was that age, you better damn well believe I was like, oh, porn.
I think kind of everyone does, but you can't say to other people to do it.
Yes, but we can do it on your own because it's already in the past. Well, I would still say it even if it was in my present. We can do arrest me. Wait, I don't know, could they? But I mentioned this story. I don't know who was on this podcast when I said it. Konaru obviously was. When I mentioned how when I was like when I was like in 6th grade or something, that I was in the boys' locker room, like changing as one does before and after PE or whatever. And there was just a random ass porn magazine, and I was like, and there was nobody around, and I was like, this is mine now.
You stole someone's porn mag?
And I'm sure it was someone's. Like you said, like I'm pretty sure like somebody was probably went to the bathroom or was like went to go talk to someone in another aisle or row or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I stole the magazine. I just took off. And I was like,
sharing is caring.
Yeah, and I was like, it was the funniest porn magazine ever. Like, I'll admit, like, I've never actually seen many porn, because nobody keeps porn magazines. But I have talked to older porn people who've done these photo shoots, and apparently, this is a really weird blast from the past, by the way. Apparently, these photo shoots would just get sold around, right? Like, you shoot a girl and you sell them to various people who publish them. But it's boring to show like naked girls. That sounds terrible to say, but it's boring. So you want to give them a story. So people would just make up these stories. Like, yes, I used to teach piano, and then I decided like I'm gonna discover my sexuality, and then you could just think of the rest of the story. And in the photo shoot, it's somebody naked next to a piano. But in real life, that was just a prop, and they really had nobody knows who the fuck that was, and some like writers just writing their like smutty fantasy to go along with the pictures. My point
hey, if you get paid,
yeah. My point to bringing all this up is that this magazine was like that. Like, it wasn't a Playboy. It was nothing but naked girls in there. It was all it was, and one page of like text for each of them of these like bullshit fantasies that I assure you were not true. But yeah.
Were you into it?
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't think so. I think even at the time it kind of took me out of it because I'm like,
you're probably just kind of staring at it like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think I legitimately like. For example, I mentioned the piano one. That was a real one, and I remember. I don't want to judge anyone. I really don't. But I saw the girl. I'm like, she does not fucking know how to play the piano. It's like, I will bet everything I own that she. And it took me right out the. It made me doubt all the other stories. And that sounds terrible to say. And I can't even tell you what she looked like. It's too far back. I wish I still had the magazine. I actually had it until recent-ish. Just because I thought it was funny to keep around, even though I was like well into adulthood. But then it got lost in a move. Honestly, it might still be in my storage. It might still be there, like mixed in with my other magazines. But yeah, that's my porn magazine story. That was a weird story to tell, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, other times in the locker room were fun. People just get in fights and so on, and I hated PE in junior high.
I think most kids did.
Yeah. It was not a fun time.
I actually have a fun junior high locker room story.
Were you guys comparing each other's boob sizes like the anime?
No, it's actually a bad thing.
The animes always say that, but go on, Racheal.
Anime ever says that.
In our middle school, we had the lockers on this side, like right in the middle, and then on the other side was like the showers and stuff, and on this side was a clear room that was glass for the teachers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
because I guess they need to watch you when you dress. I don't know.
That's creepy. Go on.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of schools apparently have this, so it's not that odd. But
really, ours wasn't. Well, anyways, go on.
But one of the teachers who I actually had as a PE teacher for the 7th grade year, when I went into my 8th grade year, she was gone. Like, gone. Like, no one knew where she was. She just disappeared. And we were trying to figure it out because we're like, she was older. So we were just like, did she just leave? Did she get fired? And we asked one of the male teachers, and he was just like, we're not supposed to be saying anything, but she was caught taking pictures of the girls in the dressing room.
Oh my god.
What?
And she got sent to jail and got fired, and I was just like, I was in her class.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I don't want to be that person, but like that sounds like that would happen right away. Like,
yeah, it did, and it's creepy to think about because I'm just like, a lot of schools have that. Even my high school technically had it. It's just it was tinted.
That's still weird. Like,
it is weird. I don't like
We
it.
didn't have a window.
Our locker rooms were like, all the lockers were like in a room, and there was like showers off to this side, and there was a different set of like, there was a showers that was clearly meant that you're naked because it was like weirdly sequestered, but then there was like a hose down one, like if you were like in the pool on the other side, that were just like standing ones, like more close together.
That you like have a little pulley.
But they were literally in a room, and there was a storage room that connected to the lockers, but it was its own little room. But where all the teachers were, you had to like leave the actual lockers, go into a hall, and there was another room, and that's where the offices were, like completely separate. Which also, I guess, would lead to problems. I was going to mention, I already mentioned in passing, there were lots of fights in the locker room, and that was actually a normal place for kids to fight. Because you knew that nobody was going to break it up. Probably nobody. If everybody was quiet, nobody would break it up at all. Like, you know, you put somebody at the door, and you pretty much, like, usually it was the tough kids fighting each other. So it's just like no one's gonna. As long as the other kids aren't getting beat up, then no one's really gonna stop anyone. It's just like they'll handle their shit. So more than a few fights, we saw till the end, until like somebody was just fucked up, and they're just like, oh man, I'll talk shit next week, but not right now, kind of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they just stumbled off.
That classic boys' locker room kind of thing.
No, it was insane. I saw it a lot. I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like, "There's a fight!" And of course, we all whisper because we didn't want to be the. That's the other thing. You didn't want to be the person who said it too loud and brought the teachers over.
You didn't want to be the snitch.
You didn't want to be the snitch. Yeah. You didn't want to be that person.
So it's like, "There's a fight!" So we all go to the room. We're all watching, and then usually when they got broken up, it wasn't because there was noise. It was just because like, the teachers would do this. They do the rounds. There's like, make sure nobody's fighting, or doing something else illegal. And they're just like, they start walking. It's like, hey, kind of thing. Like, what the fuck? Somebody punched the teacher one time doing that. Yeah, straight up punched the teacher because they were fighting and tried to break him up, like physically break them up. And one of them, it wasn't an accident. He claimed it was an accident, but that was not a fucking accident. He just straight up looked at the teacher and was like, bam, swung at him instead. It's like, I got problems. I need to punch something, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyways, that's my my locker room stories. High school locker rooms were a lot different. The offices weren't even in the locker rooms at all. So I guess you could fight there more, but I never saw a fight there in high school. Like, it was just.
I think high school at that point, like, people kind of calmed down.
Exactly. Like, people just got dressed and left. And
we have better shit to do. Bye.
Yeah. I remember specifically. I just hated the whole situation. I had PE my not senior year, my junior year as first period, and it was
first period.
Yeah, and I took weight training.
That sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't a normal class. We would still warm up and still weight train, but TLDR, I'd be tired and sore and occasionally sweaty as fuck, and it's just like I'd have to do the entire day like that, and it's just like. And
that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, and like the showers were there, but nobody showered in high school for whatever. It's like the movies. Like, I've never seen anyone use the showers, by the way, in like any of my years in school, which is funny. I don't know if people shower. Like, to me, that's always felt like a movie thing because no one.
I've seen a few girls do it, but they were specifically the girls that were also on like the swim team.
Yeah, for the record, I saw a lot of people use the swim showers. Like I said, those are the ones I ever saw people use, and even sometimes the non-swimming people would use them, but it would just be like, I'm gonna hose myself off basically, and dry off my hair and then just change. But but why are we talking about this? This is my last story.
Off topic.
I have seen many. It always struck me as weird, but it'd always be that guy, that guy, I guess, who got a little too sweaty, who would get completely stripped buck ass naked and then change. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, I got a little too sweaty. It's always somebody I was like next to. Well, usually they assign.
Y'all make my high school and middle school like locker room stories seem like so tame now, because then again I lived in like the country, so nothing much really happened. Everyone's just like kind of I guess okay with each other.
No one's naked or getting completely undressed.
No, because nothing would really happen in our locker rooms, because all the stuff would usually happen like in the courtyard, which is like in front of the school. And yeah, I don't know. My school was weird. We like the audience, essentially.
My high school, there was a period of time where we didn't have mirrors in the bathroom.
You're not.
Oh, we didn't have.
Very sad reason, though.
No, we didn't have mirrors either.
I didn't have mirrors. Yeah.
I don't know if it's for the reasons you might be mentioning about maybe somebody broke them and did things with the glass, but
what happened.
But for the very reason that they would break or that people would destroy them, we just had like a reflective piece of metal or something in place of a mirror, and if that got too scratched up, they'd replace it. I remember every so often, it's like, oh, the metal is shiny, but it's like
The metal is shiny.
but it was never a mirror, which is why every so often, like, and I never carried like obviously I wouldn't anyway. I get beat up in high school, but I would never carry like a compact with me. So every so often I needed a mirror. I'd have to like find a girl who had a mirror on her. I'm like, I needed to see if like the 15 million pimples I have on my head are like disgusting kind of thing, because it's we're talking about like awkward
High school life.
Exactly, but not that many. And I actually didn't have that bad of acne. Like I don't know why I said that, but yeah, that's usually why though. I need to check on the pimple. Is it horrible looking? Of course it is, but I need to make sure it's not like oozing or something. Anyways, that's disgusting. Let's move on.
But you were correct, Manuel. That was the reason.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, it was fine. Like everyone was fine, but
that's
yeah, we did. Well, actually, it was just that one bathroom. The rest of the bathrooms still had mirrors, just not that one.
Well, you went to a nice school that had mirrors. Like I said, like we never had any. Like they were always.
I didn't. I did like. Well, I went to private school that definitely had mirrors, but then I went to a really like not like wealthy, or like didn't have a lot of money performing arts high school, and we still have mirrors. Like I don't know of any schools in Minnesota that don't have mirrors in the bathrooms.
It might just be a California, especially an LA thing, but yeah, we didn't have any mirrors.
Yeah, because I was
Not
going to
here
say, like,
either.
every school I went to in Texas had mirrors. Even my ghetto-ass school in the city had mirrors. And I'm kind of, like, surprised that y'all had such, like, a situation.
I know, like the metal's nice today.
Like, this is
We
so
also
alien.
weren't allowed to have knives, so whenever we had food at lunch that required a knife, we'd only have like plastic knives.
Well, that's like a normal
I don't
thing.
think.
Normal.
Yeah, I don't.
Everything.
That's normal.
That wasn't like a. Which is like kind of ridiculous that like are people so crazy? It's only in high school, because like in college we had knives in our dining hall.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like,
At one point, we
consider
had to get paper plates because there was a fight that broke out, and they just started like hitting each other with like the hard plastic trays.
Oh
So
my
we had
God.
so for like the rest of the school year we had paper plates
That's
or like paper trays.
metal. That's metal.
We've
Honestly.
had that happen too. I mean, they never switched us, probably because they didn't want to go through the trouble. But I've seen fights. I've seen trays used as weapons as well. Like I've seen them broken on people, like legit. Like more than
Ooh.
once. Yeah, more than once we've had like full, like almost riot level, like where like a good chunk of the school like erupts against each other. Because there was like gangs around too, being real. But and sometimes it wasn't even gang related. Sometimes it was just like this huge group of friends didn't like this other group of friends. You know, probably gangs in the making, honestly. But anyway, so they just break out into fighting. And of course, because some people are fighting, another 20 people or whatever will be like, I'm gonna choose now to throw food at that person I never liked, kind of thing, you know. And then it just erupts. But yeah, somewhere during the midst of one of those, I saw somebody break a tray over someone else's like back, kind of thing. The tray was probably already cracked, but they hit him really hard. You just saw like the part of the tray that hit them just like flew in the air because it broke off. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, okay, I'm gonna go. I remember legit like I'm gonna leave this area and go wait to my fifth period, like whatever my next period class, and just wait there until the teacher opens the door. So I'm like, I am not getting involved in this.
That sounds like something I would do. Except I would just go to my art room because like the art room was the closest classroom that I knew.
Oh yeah, I used to hide at the choir room because that was also the closest room that was by the cafeteria, and I knew the teacher there. Like, I'm gonna go to the choir room, even if that wasn't my next class. Like, I'm just gonna go there because they're gonna lock us down anyway. Because eventually, what would happen is they would call the real police. The real police would show up, like not just like the one campus officer. Like the real police would come and start arresting people. And
Wait,
I'm like,
y'all didn't have police?
No, we had
actual active police.
No, we had
in
one
your
officer.
campus?
We had one officer.
Oh,
like,
okay.
a legit officer.
We didn't have anything. I don't even think we had security.
No, we had security too, but they would show
No,
up.
I'm saying I don't think we did.
But we had one officer who could legit like tackle kids or like, you know, beat up. Not beat. That sounds terrible. But who could actually like, you know, touch people, for lack of a better term, and arrest people. And then obviously, whenever something went down, the first thing he would do is like call like, you know, a bunch of other police, and they'd all show up, and it's like, oh hell no. It's like, I ain't getting involved in this. This is so. I love how this turned into like school horror stories, kind of.
Yeah, my school did not have a police officer like at all.
We
so
did.
weird.
I just think it's weird that you guys had trays that weren't the like soft thing.
What the?
I've never like foam. I guess I don't know. I've
No,
never
we
had
always had
trays that were like
reusable.
plastic or metal or anything.
Yeah,
we always had those like cheap things.
That's so weird.
Like the foam plates.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, that's the kind of place that they switched to us when that fight broke out.
No.
Yeah, no, that's just always
We
been
had
my norm at
plastic
any
trays.
school.
No, well, we also had like, I guess you could say we had those too, because they didn't serve the food to us on the big trays. But the thing was like the exact thing, the foam tray that would get some of the food. But then like when we went to the line, they gave us a fruit, they gave us a thing, and that went on the
court.
that went on a big tray.
Got it.
I'm pretty sure our plates were like actual plates too.
Yeah, like we were kind of wasteful. Like I know what you're talking about. We had those on the tray too, but yeah, we had both, I guess. But yeah, that was. But it's funny because we had a stationed police officer in elementary. Well, we might have had one in elementary. I never saw them. I never saw them there, but we had one in middle school as well. So I was trying to say. Because I remember we actually me and my friends got arrested for ditching one time, and they brought us back, and I'm like, oh, I used to be friends with that officer, like, you know, casual friends, like around the school, like, yeah, I'm the nice kid, and here I am, legit getting arrested. But and he's, like, brought back
I'm the nice kid.
and now I'm brought back to the school, like, you know, in handcuffs. But yeah,
Dude, it just, another thing that like amazes me is that like I've gone to school in like small towns, and every time I hear that like there's elementary schools and middle schools that are separate, it's just a foreign concept to me because I had elementary, middle, and high school all in one single building.
Whenever I hear those schools, I don't know if it's just me thinking horrible things, but like that just sounds like a cesspool where like the creepy 17-year-old senior is going to start dating a 13-year-old middle school girl.
Oh, I've seen that happen so many times.
Yeah, because I would see that even when they weren't together. So it's just like, dude, what the fuck? Is that your little sister? Stop dating her.
My private school, there were 2 elementary schools. One of them was connected to the middle school, and one of them wasn't. The one I went to was the one that wasn't. And then the high school was also separate. They were like far away from each other too.
That's only been a thing recently from like anywhere I've ever seen. Like when I grew up, I never heard of like the concept of, they call them span schools around. I don't know if that's the real common term.
Yeah, that's the
span
the term.
schools. But yeah, I had never heard of those at all until I was literally already an adult and out of like, you know, primary-ish school.
I've grown up with them so much that like hearing like that a middle school and a high school are separate is like kind of weird.
Yeah. Like, well, our campuses would not have, I guess if you had smaller classes, but yeah, our high school was like gigantic compared to the middle school I went to, and especially compared to the elementary school I went to. They were like a fourth of the size each, if even
most
that much.
Most of the public schools and at least in the Twin Cities area of Minnesota, at least in Hennepin County, there was be like 3 to 5 elementary schools, and then maybe 3 middle schools, and then 1 high school.
Huh.
My area was sort of similar, yeah.
We just had 1 school. That was it. Well, no, actually, in Shiner we had a Catholic private school, which was like all grades too, and then we had the public school, which is the school I went to. But everyone that was like middle class or lower class went to the public school, and then like all the rich kids, like if you had money or you owned something in the town, you would go to the private school.
Like similarly, there was like 3 or so high schools like in the nearby-ish area altogether, but comparatively to that, there was at least like 10 middle schools in the same
that is crazy
area, and then there would be like 12 or more elementary schools in that same area.
We had districts,
so they funneled you into like these smaller and smaller like, you know, school systems, so to speak. I mean, it was a district too, but I'm just saying they funneled you into like your options got much smaller as you went up the ladder.
Yeah. Like there's only like 2 high schools. Yeah. There's 10 middle schools.
And usually it would be like you had like a specific elementary school to go to.
Oh yeah, like,
yeah, because like your
based on where you live.
Yeah, because like your county would be like divided up between like these little sub like neighborhoods, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like based on the neighborhood you were in, you would go to that school. The only place I went to that applied to it was San Antonio.
Technically, in most states, like I know California is one, you can actually like fight that sort of, and you can be like, I want to go to this school instead, and they can't stop you.
Yeah, one of my friends lived in Inglewood, but she went to school in Hermosa Beach.
Yeah, because the obvious idea,
but she had to like go to like an academic like trial and like really like fight it.
Yeah, like some schools, I guess it does. You know, because the obvious idea is poor kids will always go to the poor schools, and so on, and like, you know, so technically you can, but also they don't really advertise that, you know. I remember like.
Well, for me, I always either went to private school or charter school, so I was never in the public school system.
Well, I mentioned before, I started in a private
school. Was never in like. It was also so I grew up. I was the first house I lived in was in the Minnetonka Housing District, the Hopkins Mailing District, and the Wayzata Schooling District. Okay, so 3 different districts. And then my the house that we currently lived in and then moved in is in the Shorewood Housing District, Excelsior Mailing District, and the Minnetonka Schooling District. So I moved out of Minnetonka, but into the Minnetonka School District. Explain to me.
That makes no
Explain
sense.
it.
I mean, I heard you say it, but you just confused me. And also, like, Minnetonka and Excelsior. I know what Minnetonka is, but Excelsior is like, is that named after...
Excelsior, not Excelsior.
Oh.
I mean, it's spelled Excelsior, I guess.
Is that named after, like, you know, Stan Lee, you know, Excelsior?
Shut up.
I mean, that'd be cool.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, like, R.I.P. Stan Lee, by the way.
Same thing.
But yeah, Excelsior.
Excelsior's a really cute city, though. It's on a lake. It's a little...
That's all I think about Excelsior.
Molly.
What?
Can you bring me medicine? I got stung by bees.
Oh my god. You can't buy it. Oh, you can.
I can't buy it right now.
Just live
no,
your
you can't because you're on
high life.
No, you can't because you're on a different time zone. Yeah, you're right.
Make it.
Well, if you still have the nest, you can make it with weeds, or you could keep talking.
I don't have weeds.
Oh, that might be a problem.
I still on my weeds.
You can talk to a villager and see if they cure you too, but or you can remotely.
Let me try that.
But every so often, the villagers, if you've been nice to them, they'll be like, "Here's some medicine," and I'm like, "Thank you. I was gonna stay like this all day." Which usually what I do, because my character wears glasses anyway. Sometimes I forget I'm stung until I talk to somebody.
Oh my god! So you told me to talk to a villager. The first villager I talked to, sure, gives me medicine.
Gives you medicine, yeah.
I love Sure. He is so good. He watered my plants today I didn't even have to ask him. He just watered them for me.
It's funny because like people used to call it stealing because like every so often the villagers will fish or try to catch bugs, but they won't ever catch anything. They'll just always be sitting there. But in this game, I saw a character catch a bug, and I'm like, you son of a bitch! What if I wanted that? And now I see what like other, because people are like, they should make them more interactive, but they don't steal your items. And I'm like, what do you mean steal? And I'm like, oh. I'm like, you are not going to do anything with that butterfly. Set it free and give it to me.
What are you going to do with it?
Sell it?
Kill it.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, it's funny. like Konaru's answer. But no, it's funny because villagers do that now. Or at least they do with the bugs. I still haven't seen them catch a fish, but I saw them catch a butterfly. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? It's like, what if I wanted that? And they were catching it on the flowers outside my house, which reminded me of this. I'm like, those are my flowers. You're trespassing. You're trespassing, first of all, and you stole my bugs. Things you say when you play Animal Crossing. You're trespassing and you stole my bugs. Isn't that right, Racheal?
You trespassing, you stole my oarfish.
Oh my god, dude! I caught so many oarfishes the other day. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you dig up those clams, you get the bait. And if you go to your dock and you throw the bait in the dock, it summons a fish. And the dock area gets you like. It's the only place you can get the rare.
It does?
Yeah. It's the only place.
Because I tried that and all I got was a sea bass.
Well, no. Sometimes that's where you get the rare fish, though. Like, admittedly, it's still an RNG thing, but it's way higher there. And then, like, I caught it, and you can also catch like the tuna and the swordfish and the sharks there, that are like even rarer than the oarfish. But the oarfish almost becomes like a mid-rare fish. Like, I caught like 3 of them last night, and I tried to tell Molly to let me go to her shop so I could sell them, because like. I didn't want to put those for 80% of the price, so I just put them on the floor. But because have you seen how big an oarfish is when you put it on the ground? They're in this huge like pool, like a pool that you could probably jump into if they let you, like your characters. And there was 3 of them just like on this tiny patch of land, and I'm like, I can't wait for it to be morning. This is so ugly. I can't invite anyone over. They'll make fun of me because I have all these fish everywhere.
I can't show everyone my ugly fish.
I know, shut up, you oarfish, you're ugly. I hate you.
Get off of my land.
I regret catching you. You can tell when it's a huge fish because your controllers go crazy, like the vibration, like they shake.
Oh,
like
does
all
it not
hell.
show the size anymore?
Well, it
With the
does.
shadow?
It does, but it feels like the really big ones are not that big anymore, like the shadow. But like,
Yeah,
still,
even in the original game, there were like really big shadows.
yeah, but now,
And then the most recent one, they literally had a shark fin.
yeah, but the big ones here are just like the size of like the big but not huge ones. So it's weird. It's like it could either be a bass.
You just never know.
Yeah, it could be a sea bass or an oarfish. It's like those are 2 completely different fish. That makes no
I've
sense.
caught quite a few football fish.
Oh
which
yeah.
I don't know what is that
I
different
caught
than
a bunch of
anglerfish?
those.
No, I think it is the anglerfish. They just changed the name. I don't know if that's official or not, but yeah.
Football fish.
It's called soccer in other countries.
Yeah, exactly. I hate all the things that they
I
say.
hate these puns. They're
I
horrible.
love the puns. They're cute.
They're so terrible.
They make me laugh.
No, what's the one about the centipede? I caught a centipede. Now I need a 99 more to make a dollar peed.
Dollar peas, yeah.
And
I hate it.
the meme is
hate
like
it.
you successfully uninstalled Animal Crossing from your Switch. That's me. I'm like, that's so terrible. Stop. Who writes these horrible Animal Crossing dad
I
jokes?
think they're amazing, and they're the only reason I'd ever get.
Animal Crossing dad jokes are what you live for.
Yeah. Look for that.
They're so terrible.
They're funny.
Oh my god, they drive me crazy. Yeah, like, and what really drives me crazy, if I stop now that I have so much money, but like, I was like grinding for money for bells, I guess, like crazy some nights. And so some of them I would see over and over and over. Like, you know how many times you could say about the sea bass being a C plus or whatever the fuck it was? You know how many times you
Oh
can
my
see that
God.
before that gets annoying? Because they got
It's a loach just looking at me with reproach.
Yes, like, oh my god, yes!
I hate it.
There's so many. This is what the. I can't remember them all. The Manila clam. That's what you make the bait out of. By the way, it's like it's my favorite flavor or some shit like that. And I'm like,
It's my favorite flavor of clam.
I'm like, what does that even mean? Like vanilla, I guess, but still, it's annoying. It's stupid. Oh my god, I'm getting annoyed just remembering all these stupid ones. I wish I remembered what the oarfish was. I don't remember what it was though.
I remember it. It's the I gotta catch more fish, or I hope I get
Oh,
more
that's
fish.
terrible.
I like
Don't
it when
ever
the
say
squid.
that.
I like it when the squid comes out because they stay off the hook.
It doesn't actually bloop.
Oh my god.
Wait, do they not actually bloop?
Oh, they bloop over. Yeah. Not so much a fish, but I hate that Gulliver doesn't give you
I
doesn't
hate
ask
Gulliver
trivia.
too.
I mean, he doesn't give you trivia anymore. He makes you dig up his fucking parts of his like communicator. And I'm
And then
like,
he's there for like 4 more days.
yes, he's like I was telling you that one day. I'm like, Gulliver is still there when you came to my. I think you came to my island. I'm like, he's still there. Like I found him as shit like 12 hours ago. He hasn't left. I kind of want to push him in the fucking ocean already. Like, dude, if they're not coming for you, you better start swimming because you're not welcome here anymore. He just fucking gets on my nerves. By the way, is it the same? Because it's 4 rooms and then a second floor in the basement, Molly. You're already done with your house.
It's the main room and then the back room, right room, left room, attic and basement.
Oh, okay, I'm just curious. I saw somebody with the.
You get the left room next, and then the right room, and then the attic, and then the basement.
But you never have to make them bigger, right?
No, they don't. You can't make them bigger.
Okay, because yeah.
So the biggest room is still the main room. The attic and the basement are a different shape though. They're like more rectangular.
Because in New Leaf, like you would make, that was the next step. You add a new room and they have to make it bigger like 2 more times.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just curious, but yeah. Dude, have you figured out how to put bells? Have you figured out how to put turnips into your storage? Because I don't think you can. And nobody's talking about that. Why is nobody talking about that? Is nobody doing
Because no one is messing with turnips.
Yeah,
I'm honestly not messing with it.
I kind of feel that nobody is because like before you could put those in your storage, but now you can't. So I literally have just turnips all over my floor and it looks terrible. I'm gonna just sell them. I don't need the money. I'm just gonna sell them like when I turn the game. Or actually, my store will probably be closed by then. But at some point tomorrow morning, I'm just gonna just sell them and clear up my floor, and then like I'll buy a few turnips for the fucking Nook Miles and that's it. I mean, I'll buy some each week for the Nook Miles. But yeah.
I sold mine for 124, so it was like 20 bells more.
Yeah, I don't know, if my prices keep going down, I don't want to take that big of a loss, even though it's only a few $100,000.
Well, if you look online, there are trends. There's like decreasing, big spike, small spike, and random.
Well,
really
like,
nothing random one.
If you join an Animal Crossing group on Facebook, you can join someone's place who has the big prices. Like, I saw a couple, but I just don't feel like going to strangers' islands. Not that it matters, but I just feel weird doing it. They can't rob me or something, but still.
So are turnip stocks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's actually
basically,
it's the stock market. Yeah, it's the stock market.
with turnips. I'm listening to you guys, and I'm just like,
They call it the stock market, like in the game.
Yeah,
STALK, the stock market.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, more fucking dad joke puns. What the fuck?
That's great.
And Molly's eating her turnips though.
Yeah, 10 of them.
Did anything even happen?
Well, you can only do 10 at a time. Like they come in packs of 10.
But did anything happen, or did you just eat them?
Yeah, it was like fruit. It was like I had eaten 10 fruit.
But that's an expensive way to do that.
It's 100 bells.
For 10? But 10, that's 1,000 bells. That's way more expensive than eating 10 fruit.
No, 100 bells for 10.
No, it wasn't.
You buy them in you buy them in groups of 10.
No, but they're 100 bells each. You buy them in groups of 10, though.
No, it's 100 bells for 10.
No, believe me. Look it up. It's 100 bells. Do the math. It makes sense the way I say it. If you bought so many thousand of them,
Hey, positivity. We're playing Animal Crossing.
No. Haven't you seen the memes? It's like this isn't a pleasant game anymore.
Okay, because I bought 300 for 30,000.
Wait, hold on. Hey, how are you? I've seen A to J. What? Wait, are you a bot? You a bot?
It's a bot.
Hi, bot. Hi, bot.
Hello, bot.
Hello, body boy.
Yeah,
I know you're right. It is 100 per turnip.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, there ain't no positive. What are you eating? Where'd you get the burger? Do you just have burgers off to the side of the camera? I want a
No.
burger.
I'm about to go get a burger because I have to go to.
It's a chicken sandwich.
I want a chicken sandwich. Well, I'm probably eat more pizza when I'm done with this. I mentioned earlier I got Little Caesars.
I'm going to a friend's house to do some
Bacon.
work.
Molly, did you not social distancing?
I'm not going to be like around him. I just need to take pictures of some of his supplies for.
Not within 6 feet.
Okay, well he'll be 6 feet away from me. It'll be fine.
We literally started this podcast judging everyone, and then you're ending it with like, I'm gonna go to a friend's house as soon as we're done and go work on some projects. Like, no, Molly, stop. You know those memes
Well,
where
no, it's like work. I'm getting paid to do it.
but you know those memes where it's like it's the kids telling their parents. It's like, where are you going? I'm going out to Jim's house. Like, no, you're not. It's like, why not? You're immunocompromised. It's like, but what's his name's son lets me go out? It's like, I'm not what's his name's son.
I have to stop my mother from going to the store to get groceries all the time because she's definitely not the type of person who should get sick off of this.
No, exactly.
And I'm just like, let me do it. Just write down what you want. I will go and get it, and I will come back.
No,
Stop going without me knowing.
No, like when I mentioned the whole thing with my mom earlier, one of the reasons I go with her is just to kind of limit her like going out much. But she's gonna do it anyway, and obviously she's not gonna stay home and let me do it. She wants to do it, so I can't really stop her. Even like so it's like tying her to a chair, but. At least that way, I'll make sure she doesn't do anything stupid. Like, you know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But, you know, like, not
Elderly abuse.
Not practice, like, you know, social distancing or whatever.
You want to hear the thing my dad posted about what they've done, about their day, the comparison of my mom's day versus my dad's day?
What?
It's quite funny. Let me grab it. Okay, so my dad said, oh my god, where is it? Dad, what are you posting anything? My dad said, Molly's mom's Sunday. That's not what he said. He said her name, but whatever. Got up and fed the doggy and started working on the 2-story, 3-season porch, an octagon of all glass. Decided that the interior window needed to be completely cleaned with Dawn and vinegar and a rag and rinsed and dried before being Windexed. She did them all. Then decided that the tile floor needed to be completely hand-washed with soaked towels of soap, cleaned off the glass coffee table and the wonderful metrosexual man cave. This is my dad's word.
Oh my god.
He called himself
Metrosexual.
Had some leftover spaghetti, took care of the dog, went back to work out there, and I think she shopped. And I know she worked on getting ready to make a turkey and more work in and around and in and out of the house and garage. In between, she rested and finished 2 paint-by-number cans. And then this is what my dad did. I woke up at 9:25, took a pill, and woke up again at 11:45. Had coffee, went out and smoked a cigar in my car with the dog. Picked up both pieces of mail. Started at her request, vacuuming all the corners up to the octagon ceiling to get cobwebs. Finished 2 of them. Got hawked into vacuuming all the cushions and the plush chairs and couch and 3-season. Watched a couple episodes of Altered Carbon, and Verla finished all the cobwebs vacuuming.
What the fuck?
That's my mom. Spent an hour going to various hiding places trying to figure out what components go to which of the 4 or 5 vacuums we have because I thought the canister was too weak. Sort of fluffed out the pillows at the door of the porch, so now the coffee table needs to be done again. Vacuumed all the cushions and fabric chairs and underneath and behind and found no money. Lower back really hurts. Went and had another cigar. Joined Verla in last night's pot roast. As usual, around 9 or 10, and another cigar with the doggy, and went to sleep after listening to all the bad news on the radio for an hour, and then some music while smoking another 6-hour day under my pillow.
Why is it so much?
He smokes cigars, like, about 2 a day. Weight hovering about 5 pounds about 2 weeks ago. But anyways, and he's like, on Monday, she woke me up at 9:25 so she can take the dog for grooming, and I take a pill and then wake up again at 11:45. $100 comes in from a client. No mail. Verla bought donuts from home, so that's what I have for breakfast with coffee. Finish the vacuuming Now out having a cigar, contemplating another 6-hour day, maybe stretch it to 10. No business for weeks. Doggy looks well groomed. 15 or 20 degrees warmer, and I can smoke cigars on the Reese's in port, waiting for the bankruptcy consultation. But God, that woman works. I just thought it was funny because he's like, my mom did all this stuff, and then he's like, I was told to do this, but then I didn't do it, so your mom, so she did it.
I know. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that's me. But I don't have anyone bossing me around. I'm just like everyone else is doing more stuff than I am, and I'm just like, yeah. I woke up at 4 p.m. today, and the sun was already going down, and I never saw the sun today.
I'm definitely more like my dad. Like, I like sleeping. He because he has medication that he takes every day. He literally wakes up at 9:45 to take the medicine, and then just goes back to sleep and wakes up later.
Oh my god. The other day, not this trip with my mom, but I went with my mom to a market earlier on in the week, and on the way home, don't worry, the story has a good ending because it sounds a little weird when I start it. On the way home, she was talking about going on Facebook. You know, my mom's hilarious. She doesn't know technology, but she talks about going on Facebook, and like, she's one of those people who kind of considers who kind of uses Facebook and like the internet almost interchangeably. But she mentioned going on Facebook and seeing all this stuff. She's like, did you hear that, have you seen all the stuff they've been saying on Facebook that, that it's the Chinese who did all this, and it's all about this and about the bats and about and then how it's actually the Chinese virus. And in my head, I was like, Mom, please. It's like, I don't even, I don't want to have this conversation with you. I really don't. I really, really, really don't. And I don't think I will either way. I'm just gonna move on and pretend I didn't hear you say that kind of thing. And it's so funny because, for the record, I always feel like I got my my Uber it should be normal, by the way. I'm not saying this is anything special, but my straight up people are people, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter what they are, who they are, what nationality, sex, whatever the fuck. I always feel like I got that from her. So it was very disheartening to hear her start saying all this. I'm like, oh my god. But then out of nowhere, it took a really random turn. She's all like, yeah, and for the record, I will say this. She's mentioned that she saw one of my cousins. She didn't say which one, by the way. One of my cousins posted something similar going on about this. Then out of nowhere, she's all like, isn't that messed up? She's like, we shouldn't be dividing people. We should be uniting them. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, it feels like those kind of stories that have a terrible, terrible, terrible. And mind you, she went on.
You were expecting her to go a different way.
Yeah, and then it's like she totally nailed the landing. I was like, what the fuck? That could have gone somewhere totally different. If she went on for a while, we were walking to the store, and she the whole time there, she kept going on about all the stuff she'd seen on Facebook, And by the way, what I was trying to say is I don't think this was on Facebook. I think this was on the internet. She read articles, but she was calling it Facebook. And then she ended it with that, and I was like, oh my god, thank God. It's like, I don't have to disown my mother again, or whatever, forever. Now. Well, I never disowned her really the first time, but I
was like, what did you say again?
that sounded terrible. Yeah, I should have said that. But not disown my mother, I meant to say. But yeah, I was like, oh my god. But anyway, that was just a funny conversation I had a while ago. I was just like, those stories that you feel are going one way completely different, and it's just like, oh, thank God. But yeah, apparently one of my cousins is the racist. That's the other part of that story. But that's for another day. But that doesn't surprise me. I have some like anyone does. I have some odd people in the family tree. What is that? What's the thing he's posting? He probably hasn't got to the end of the story yet. It looks like it's the questioning face. He probably thinking like me that story's gonna go into a dark place. Oh yeah. But anyway, that's I don't know if we're gonna start wrapping it up. We've been over 2 hours and we never said anything about how to deal with quarantine. Oops.
I did.
You did. She did actually. I guess technically the rest of us just basically said Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, and every day when you wake up, change into a different outfit. Don't stay in your pajamas.
Yeah, actually, that's very important.
Please.
That's very important.
Yes, please.
For your mental health.
I've been forcing
Even if you're
myself to do
wearing
that
pajama
too.
pants,
Yeah.
wear something nice up top.
Yeah.
Put makeup on. Do something.
I need to shave. I mentioned it to Molly. I haven't shaved since last podcast.
You haven't even done your haircut because your haircut.
Well, the haircut I can't do. I mentioned this on Facebook, funny enough. I mentioned it to Racheal as well earlier, that I am considering shaving my head.
No.
Do it.
And then
No.
I'm for it. that I'll probably shave my head and just wait for it to grow back out. Because even if like the like for the not to go into what's the current news, because it gets kind of weird and negative, and it's the whole other story I don't want to get into. But obviously, there's kind of a date mentioned, and it's still like 3 weeks off. Even though that date hopefully should not be reached, because it should be a little longer than that. But it's at least 3 more weeks. Like it's almost definitely going to happen. So even if I shave my head now, I assure you,
You have enough time.
yeah, I assure you, by 3 weeks, it'll be long enough that I can get a normal or my regular haircut. If they even open right away, that's the other thing. Like, for all I know, they're not even open right away.
I think this is about 2 weeks for me, so I think like another week would probably be like normal length, size.
Yeah, see, I got this. I don't know. Maybe I'll just shave my side. See, I'm not that clever. Like, not that clever. That's the wrong word. I'm not that smooth in my like skills. If I try to shave just the sides, I'll fuck it up anyway, and I'll end up shaving my whole
Do
head.
you have the guards?
No.
Oh, so you just have an unprotected one.
Yeah.
Get it. Go for it.
Just start shaving.
Honestly, look up your brand and order some guards for it. And then you could do it at different lengths.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
So
and we'll
you don't
figure
have
this
to go cue ball. Unless you want to.
But I see, I'm not that clever. But I'm definitely gonna fuck it up. But then again, you can't see it here in the way I have this set up because my hair is too dark. And even when I get a new haircut, it'll still look like, you know, it's like I'm not gonna like go skinhead, so you know you'll still see the dark, you know, where the hair is still kind of there.
The buzz, yeah.
And it'll look the same as far as this is concerned. You just won't really notice it. So people I see, well, who am I gonna see in person? Fucking my roommate's the Uber Eats guy, and that, you know, the occasional market I go to with my mom here and there.
You're not going to see the Uber Eats guy. He's going to leave it on the chair.
Exactly.
Leave it on the chair.
Well, this person insisted. Wait, actually, he wasn't from Uber Eats. He was from. Actually, I don't know where he was from, but it was from Little Caesars. Has their own ordering.
My food chair.
Yeah, leave it on the chair. Like, I did tip him and everything. The tip was through the apps. Like, leave it on the chair. You know.
No, I'm curious. You're probably not the weirdest person for them. So they're probably over here like, yeah, whatever, food chair.
Like, for the record, that I mentioned it as if that was a new thing. I haven't ordered that much since this all went down, but I've had 3 food orders since the lockdown has gone through, and the first 2 left it on the chair. so for it's happened. They just leave it on the chair. It's like they ring my doorbell, leave it on the chair. I literally wait. I hear the bell and I wait. I make sure they're gone.
Look through the hole.
Yeah. Then I go. Then I open the door and get my food. A fucking squirrel takes it. I don't know. There's a squirrel who's been like coming, probably because nobody feeds him.
That's a buff squirrel.
No, there's been a squirrel that keeps coming down whenever, like, I always see him out. But like I said, he's probably out because nobody's there, because, like, you know, you never see people anymore. So I always feel like if I leave food out there too long, the squirrel's gonna take it. The squirrel's like, yeah, it's my food now. Like you said, buff ass squirrel.
Buff squirrel. I live near the freeway, and I still hear the freeway noises. Like, people are still definitely driving. Like,
oh yeah, some people still go to work.
Well, like, it's definitely gone down. Like, when I go outside, and there's a pretty busy street outside of my place, like, it's visible. And when I go out to take out the trash or whatever, there'll be a car or two, and weirdly enough, a motorcycle or two that I saw. I'm like, what? But it's noticeable for me. Like, it's noticeably cut down. Like, there's still people driving, like, constantly. But this was a busy street. Like, there would be traffic. Like, when a red light would happen, it'd back up a bit. But now it's like, it's a handful of cars, and that's it.
I noticed a lot less people driving, but when I did go out for groceries the other day, I saw a lot of people walking around and on bikes and stuff. And it wasn't just like, oh, it's a lot of people. It was like
I just keep catching sea butterflies.
Don't go after the small shadows at all. Like, Molly looks so pissed about this.
I know, she is right.
Stop going after small shadows. The small.
Well,
shadows.
are there any rare things that are small?
I don't think so. The pier does summon those too, by the way, and I'll catch them just to get rid of the shadow. But I've never caught a rare thing as a small shadow, at least not in this season. Maybe in the future, but not this one. But what was I saying? Oh, whenever I go to that tiny the store I went to with my mom, like, it's a tiny ass store, but I've been there twice with her. The place was there last time too. It was the place we were telling the other story. we've never been by ourselves. We're trying to say we've always walked in there, and another customer will already be in there. Another one will show up. And if you know this store, I'm pretty sure they never have like this many customers. It's like, well, I don't know, maybe they do, but it looks like it's never a busy store. But like there's people. They have toilet paper, by the way, which I thought was so interesting, and they've always had it. Like the first time I went when it was still insane. They had toilet paper there, and I'm like, oh shit, literally, everyone come get toilet paper.
There's only the Costco and the Targets near me were the only ones that actually sold out of toilet paper.
Like,
I feel like everywhere else was fine.
Around me, it's all the markets too. Yeah.
Ran out near me.
Yeah, it's like all the markets.
I went to like the Lucky's near me, which I think is Ralph down there. I think it's
I don't know about Ralph's.
No,
I know that Vons and Albertsons are Safeway.
No, yeah, it used to be. Well, I don't know if Lucky's definitely isn't anymore, but Lucky's used to be Albertsons. Albertsons, yeah. Albertsons bought out Lucky's a long time ago or something like that. But I think they've all since split off.
I thought Albertsons and Vons were the same thing.
No, Vons
is Safeway, I think.
Yeah, Ralph's is Kroger. Ralph's Food for Less are Kroger. And
then there's also John's.
Oh, John's I think might be its own thing, but yeah.
I have no clue.
I thought it was like a like less expensive Vons.
No, it's not. It clearly it's grown into its own thing, but I'm 99% sure it started as a bootleg Vons.
It sounds like it.
No, it used to be that their signage was very Vons like. But now they've opened like a million stores. They changed their logo. Their logo used to be like a Vons ripoff. But yeah, now they're their own. They've grown enough that they don't have to like rip off.
Can't you use Albertsons card at Vons and vice versa?
No.
I thought they were both Kroger.
No. I think Albertsons is its own brand now. It used to be like a big conglomerate, but then like it broke itself up because of like bankruptcy things.
Oh, okay.
But so you might be right by that for the record. Like they used to be a lot bigger, but now the Albertsons are like their own thing, which is funny because I was talking to a friend of mine. Well, not just a friend of mine, but I was gonna say Racheal too. But I was talking about Janet in my head. Janet's in Texas, and I was like, oh my god, the Albertsons have the best like rum I've ever had in my life. And then she was all like, the Albertsons,
your store brand.
Yeah, and she's like, the Albertsons here don't even sell alcohol because Texas doesn't sell alcohol at their markets, which is hilarious to me. Yeah, exactly. Konara's boyfriend was when I forgot. AX. He was like he visited us at AX in our hotel party, and he was saying how it tripped him out when he went to the market and they had alcohol there. It's like, what the fuck?
Wait, really? They do that in Texas?
Minnesota.
Yeah. You can't buy alcohol.
I know Minnesota. Canada does that.
Oh,
they have in Minnesota. I think they have like wine and beer in grocery stores, but I think for hard liquor, it's all. Actually, I don't know for sure though.
It's in liquor stores. Like you have to go to a liquor store to get it, and then you also can't buy alcohol.
But a lot of grocery stores will have a liquor store attached to it.
Oh, that's just shady right there. But yeah, that's skirting the law. Yeah, that's skirting the law. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, and you also can't. This might not be for all states, but Texas, you also can't buy alcohol on Sunday apparently.
Yeah, you can in Minnesota, but they're trying to change that.
So Where's Dragon Con held? I can't remember.
Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Okay.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
A friend of mine went one year, and they were helping out one of the bands, so like they were doing about a bunch of equipment movement and stuff like that. And afterwards, after they played, she's just like, "Oh, cool, let's go get some drinks and hit it up." And they're just like, "Oh, it's 8:00. We can't get alcohol now."
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Even at restaurants?
Bible Belt.
I don't know about restaurants, but apparently, like, stores won't sell alcohol after 8 p.m. or something.
Well, like, that makes. I mean, it makes stupid sense that it's that early. But it was kind of recently that I found out that stores don't sell alcohol past 2 a.m. here. I used to always think that if you were drinking and the bar kicked you out at 2 a.m., I'd just go to like a 24-hour like a CVS and I go buy some beer at like 2:30. No, apparently they don't sell you alcohol at all. Like that's part of the liquor license.
In some states, there's drive-through liquor stores.
That sounds like it doesn't so much sound like it sounds like a mess to me because half of what my alcohol purchasing is like perusing.
Yeah, you're just kind of looking at them and you're like, what is this? Like, I want to try this today.
For me, like, I found that out because I was taking this, like, dialect quiz. Like, can we guess what your dialect is? And it was like, what do you call a place where you can drive through to get alcohol? And the answers were, like, a drive-through alcohol place, a brew-through
Or the answer which I chose was, I did not know that these existed, but brew through is great.
Brew through.
I like that one, a brew through. I hope it's spelled with just use. Excuse me.
Yeah,
With just use.
I think it was.
A brew through.
That's great. I like that one.
Oh my god. But yeah, we should wrap this up. It's like
Yes.
well, we started late, but we
I'm
already
really
have over 2
tired.
hours. Yeah. And I had to pee pretty bad. But
Thanks for sharing.
yeah, I'll
Molly,
just
your
go,
dream is coming up.
yeah, exactly. I'll just go to sleep and then just pretend I can't pee because there's no walls apparently. For the record, this is kind of a weird story, but like, as a guy, this is just I don't know why I told this story. I could have just stopped the podcast, but I already started it now. As a guy, I've peed in public. That sounds terrible to say, but I've had to pee in public many a time in my life, and yeah. So I don't think I'd have that fear if I really had to pee, and if it was
I think most guys don't have that fear.
And
There's a difference between peeing in public, like, and you're more like secluded, and like peeing in public when there's literally someone right next to you.
well, if there's a toilet there and it's kind of expected you're gonna pee there, but it's like you have no wall, unless the person was literally staring at me peeing. Like, and I don't mean just at me. I can maintain eye contact.
Well, it might also be different that like
But if
guys
somebody-
have urinals and like
Yeah, I
you're
was
not,
gonna say like if
you
somebody.
don't like
Eye contact.
No, like it's like, dude, if I see those eyes look down, I'm gonna pee on your fucking legs or some shit like that. But it's like,
Ew.
if somebody could be standing next to me, I could have a conversation with them. If there's a toilet there, I'd be fine because it's kind of expected. It's like, oh, I guess we have to do this. You know, this is how we pee.
I guess we do this now.
Anyways,
This is random off topic, but it reminded me of this.
oh,
There
God.
was a place here recently open. It was one of those arcade type bars, and someone went into the restroom, and the restroom was like a single door restroom. It's not stalled.
Yeah.
And they walk in, and there's just 2 toilets right next to each other.
Oh, it's like hold hands.
Like,
and,
no, yeah, so people were making so many jokes about it, and I was just like, the person who sent it to me was a guy, so I was just like, I actually don't see the issue if you're a guy, because it's basically the same thing.
It's urinals, yeah.
It's,
and like I
yeah,
said-
see, okay, you agree.
Yeah, and like I said,
And
it's like-
girls will go into the bathroom together all the time anyways.
I can't,
and literally,
Yeah,
as long
not
as,
Rachel, but
as long as no one's like, sky code, as long as no one's you either maintain eye contact or you look ahead, then that's cool.
Eye contact things.
Yeah, it's like you do not like your eyes stay here, like straight ahead. It doesn't matter if you're looking at someone else in the eye, if you're looking at the wall, but they stay up. Yeah. Yeah, that's the real story. Like I'm pretty sure every guy has like. Actually, I'm not even pretty sure. I'm positive every guy has a peeing in public story. That sounds terrible to say, but it sounds. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go just pee, in this park. That sounds terrible, but yeah. I remember one time. I'm not gonna tell the story. Never mind. It's not peeing in a park. I'll just say that. And I'll also say this. I'll leave on this as a funny little bit. I've mentioned partially these stories in the past, but like, there was this friend's house we used to party at all the time when I was younger, and there was like this like narrow wall behind his like house, and he lived in like an outside house of another house, if you know what I mean, and he rented that outside house. But there was this walkway between his house and like the fence, and it was like a brick fence though, and a brick wall I should say, I guess it's a better word. And people would go back there to pee all the time, because like it's a party, somebody's always like, the bathroom was always occupied, some shit like that. But girls would go back there and pee all the time too. So people like everyone. I remember that was like, it's like the great unifier of peeing in public. Like all the girls would pee in public, like there too. But I guess we were kind of secluded. And but it's the kind of situation where like people would walk in on you, for lack of a better term, all the time. Just like, I need to pee. I'm gonna go walk to the thing. It's like, oh shit, somebody's already there. It's like the other bathroom's in use. The other bathroom. It's like both bathrooms are in use. We'd actually say that many times. But anyway, that's that. That's the lovely note we're leaving it on.
Yes. Please, I'm tired.
This Friday, I plan to do a podcast with someone else. Like Konaru probably won't be there. Or maybe she will. Like, and also maybe tomorrow, maybe
Depends on
another
how
day.
I feel.
We're trying to do a Jarena only podcast.
Oh, I'm definitely not going on that.
Yeah, you hate
what?
Jarena.
We just talk about Jarena.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a short one. But we have like it's basically like about Jarena and like some predictions of where her career might go. Just a fun little one a friend of mine wants to do, and I'm like, sure.
Is she still on AKB, or did she graduate?
She's graduating like in a couple months.
Yeah, but she's still there technically. But we're going to talk about some of like her. We're going to talk a lot about her wrestling career and her solo album and stuff like that.
Her short wrestling career.
Yeah, and exactly her short wrestling career. But just
was she actually a wrestler, or was it like a gimmick thing?
It was a gimmick.
It was
thing.
totally a gimmick thing. Yeah, but it's just gonna be a fun little short podcast. We're not gonna go on for like anything close to this. Probably within like a 45 minutes to an hour.
Hopefully, you'll stay on topic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will, because the guy who's gonna do it, like he was on for. We actually did a wrestling podcast, me and him, and like every time I tried to stray away, he actually would force me back onto it, and then we were done like in less than 80 minutes. So yeah. And that was a much wider
record.
Yeah, and that was a much wider topic. So other than just Jarena. So that those are gonna happen. We're gonna be streaming more because we're all stuck at home, and I want to make partnership during the quarantine, because the only thing we're missing is the amount of streams. So, and then people can sub to us and give us money. Speaking of which, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/ACNH, and it sounds like a joke, but it's like money's always helpful. The site kind of does pay for itself, but give us more money and maybe I'll buy fucking Konaru webcam.
No.
Well, to be honest, I'd buy you that anyway. I keep telling you, but
no.
Then you can call Chris Hansen on me. He's gonna cancel my ass.
Stop trying to buy girls' webcams, you creep.
No, I'll buy them all the webcams. That sounds terrible. Stop. But
Okay, so that's our podcast for the night. Thank you
all during this podcast. You